Board games, board games, that's what we're going to play. Board games, we're going to enjoy them today. Board games are a thing we like. Board games. And now my rhymes are on my bike. I don't know. Sorry.
Well done, Bez.
Hello, everyone. It is time for the Thursday prize play along. And today with us, we've got some marvelous guests. It's lovely to have you. And to anyone watching, if you're enjoying this or if you're out there, just always feel free to comment and share and give it a wee thumb, because it's lovely to know that you're here, and all of these games you're going to be able to play along in the comments. Now, with us, we've got the wonderful, gorgeous-looking Amy Wolseley. Am I saying your name correctly?
It's Wolseley, but everyone does it, so don't worry.
I'm sorry, Wolseley. And you are the owner of the Dice Cup, which people can check out by going to facebook.com/thedicecup. And you're anxiously waiting to see what happens in this time of...
So I'm one of the managers, so our owners are Matt and Steve, and yeah, we are open very soon. Looking forward to seeing everybody. We're delivering games across the UK at the moment, so if you'd like to check us out, our Facebook page is down below.
And yeah, secondly, we have Rose Atkinson.
Hello.
Who is the lead developer at ITB, who is managing to putter along despite the whole pandemic that
we're getting through. Yeah.
And what exciting things are on the horizon that you can talk about?
So we've got some small box games being printed at the moment, so that's really exciting.
Including Space Worm.
Yeah, that will be coming up later this year. It's happening.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely happening.
Space Worm is a roll and write by Rainer Knizia, and we played it in my kitchen, and it's so much fun. It is basically, like, if you remember Snake, the mobile phone game, it's basically that as a roll and write. It's fantastic.
I love that game.
Love roll and write.
Yeah, because you can just sit down and play it for 5 minutes, and then, you know, it's such a good filler. Yeah.
James, a roll and write is a game where you generally roll some dice, and so you've got some randomness, and then you make some decisions, and then you write down some stuff on a bit of paper. So whether that's drawing a line as your worm extends, or whether that's filling in some numbers in Ganshon Clever, or whether that's making a dinosaur-themed park in Welcome to Dino World. All of these, or indeed like Mini Muckle. Although that's technically a flip and write because you're flipping the cards, Mini Muckle and Micro Muckle are similar to that genre. It's all about the mark making.
Yeah.
And
Ganshon Clever has a great app as well. Hello, Casey!
And Casey is the marketing community person for ITB?
Yeah, she's the communications person, so she does all of our like social media and getting in touch with customers and stuff. Does a very good job.
And finally, we have James, who is my wonderful friend from London. Well, from Essex.
I don't get called amazing or gorgeous, I notice. Thank you, though.
Well, listen, it's wonderful, just as good.
It's beautiful, beautiful. Thank you very much, Biz. Lovely to be here again. Beautiful to see you all today. Yeah.
And hi, Dave. It's lovely to see you in the comments. That's
Dave.
Dave is another board game designer with a game that recently came out from Gibson's, Rockpool. So I'm sure Dave will never cease being excited about. Dave is a lovely person, as is everyone, except for the people who I block because they're not lovely, and that's something you have to do. So anyway, tonight is the Thursday prize play along, and tonight we are playing Giftable and How Much Money. And
How much money?
This is so professional. The like string at the bottom of the.
I love GIFTABELL. That's one of my favourite games.
Oh, thank you. In GIFTABELL, we're going to be making a fictional person. So we might say, okay, it's Brianna, the zoologist, and then you need to come up with a some sorts of gift for them. So you might say it's Armadillo ink. I don't know what's, and then you kind of explain why Brenna, the archaeologist, the zoologist, wants armadillo ink.
Okay.
It's obvious, isn't it? You know, it's...
Yeah, who wouldn't want armadillo ink? And
I think she might be quite upset, you know, because I presume you have to cut the armadillo open to get it out. So I don't think that's such a good present.
Well, maybe the armadillo ink isn't made out of armadillos. Maybe the armadillo ink is to kind of be something for marking armadillos. So it's kind of like like the way they do with cattle, to kind of track their movements across places.
Well, it could be the sort of ink that when it dries, it forms the shape of an armadillo, like a freeze-dried sort of ink, you know. Just the water and out comes an armadillo.
With armadillo's lovely shells, you could paint them, and it's armadillo ink to make them lovely and pretty when they're at the zoo to get more attention.
Now we've got, of course, tonight it is Thursday prize play along. And I didn't say, by the way, GIFTABELL's by David Brain for the L deck, which I made, and How Much Money is by Chris Backe. It's another game about working out how much people would push their limits, how much money it would take, and we're going to play that. And yeah, that's always a bit of a laugh, and these are things that you can find. But first, we've got
£500 million. So any answer.
Competition time, competition time. This is the song for competition time. Competition time. So, tell me, what is a marvelous thing? Explain why it's marvelous and use the word marvelous in your comments. If you do that, you will automatically enter the competition. You could win either In a Bind Junior, which I'm sure I had a copy. Oh, here's a copy. Here, that's In a Bind Junior. It's something that's no longer available for sale. No, that's In a Bind that you've got there, James. That's not
In a Bind.
Junior.
Oh, I've got In a Bind
This
Junior.
is In a Bind Junior, which has the animal noises with it that you don't get with Yogi anymore. It's all about the animal noises.
Everyone loves the animal noises.
Do you have this at the dice cup?
Let's hear your favourite impression of an armadillo.
Pardon?
It got stolen in January. Do you remember I sent you a message?
It's a junior version as well. I thought it was just to be.
Yeah,
oh man!
All of our In a Bind gone. Couldn't find.
Oh.
I searched for a good hour and a half trying to find any sort of copy or anything similar to In a Bind for these people that wanted to play it. And I was like, I can't find it. It's gone.
Oh. Well, I'm in a way.
Definitely gone.
I'm happy that people are enjoying it enough to want to steal it, but like, I mean, what kind of people would steal that? That's just a shame.
I know there are positives and negatives, but ready for our opening, we are going to be placing another order, so we'll get ourselves a new copy, and I want a copy for my new home as well. So
you should get. Well, people can all get Yogi, which
we'll get Yogi.
I actually have a sealed copy right there, and Yogi Guru is really where it's at. With
I'm on form tonight.
It's all about the lower body, where you've got a card on your knee and a foot above your head and things like that. It's you can check out the BGG video with that's where we both literally had in the middle of Essenspiel our feet on the top of the table. It was anyway. So the other thing that you can win is a little sketch that you can draw. It's not going to be the best sketch. Here's one that I still need to send to Alan out.
Recognisable.
This one's of James in a car and Tom in a skirt.
It looks a little bit like me, doesn't it? But speaking of animal noises, what noise does an armadillo make?
I have no idea.
I feel like maybe they snuffle.
I feel like they snuffle. Yeah.
Like that, yeah.
So you do know. It's amazing. It's some magic. You learn a lot of things on this show. It's very educational.
No, it's not. We're just making random guesses. This should not be taken as education.
Diseducational, in fact. We're spreading completely incorrect and untrue facts.
About armadillos.
Yep.
Yeah, and armadillos totally have secret wings that they can spread out from underneath their shells.
That's why the shell's so big.
Fake
Yep.
news.
Mhm.
Really do,
So, see that we've got Dave saying the internet is a marvelous thing because it's connecting us together right now. That's a lovely thing to say.
No, it's
And
not. It's because he's Googling noises that armadillos make, isn't he?
And Casey says the word marvelous is marvelous because marvelous is so satisfying to say. It's marvelous.
Very true.
It is actually satisfying to say marvelous. And what would you three say are marvelous things? I am quite happy for us to, you know, be a little bit ostentatious. I'm going to say effervescent vitamins. Quite a marvelous thing.
The magic of science, you know, in creating those effervescent vitamins.
Because those bubbles, the little bit of noise, the fact that now I've got to drink that's a little bit tastier than water. Amy, do you have anything that you would like to say is marvelous?
I think a roof over my head is a marvelous thing with the horrible weather we've been having. So I love roofs a lot. They are marvelous.
Yeah.
I think that London's parakeets are marvellous because it's just really cool to see a bright green bird that is definitely not originally native to Britain has managed to take over London, you know? It's so good to see a parakeet flying around. It doesn't feel quite as boring anymore, you know? They're very cool birds. Marvellous, in fact.
And James?
Well, obviously, board games with Bez Night is marvelous. Obviously, that's the obvious one. I think when I hear the word marvelous, I'm always thinking about George's Marvelous Medicine. The book I used to read when I was a kid.
And would you say that book is marvelous?
Well, you see, it wasn't necessarily a marvelous book because what he tried to do was actually kill his own grandmother. So it's not necessarily a very nice book.
Yeah, but yeah, there's definitely little bits of darkness in most of the books. Like whether it's Matilda or whether it's Fantastic Mr. Fox, there's always a little bit of, you know, Roald Dahl does have a little bit of a dark edge.
He does, doesn't he? Yeah.
But moving on from marvelous things, and Casey says you can't go wrong with a Barocca, which I actually had to look up to find out that this is a brand of vitamin tablets. I am willing to tell you that the vitamin tablets I have are basically just relatively cheap ones from Lidl.
Oh, no, isn't that a water removal cream, Barocca?
No.
Barocca. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, don't drink Verucas.
Don't, no. Veruca.
No, we don't want that.
Okay, so on with the first game. Giftable! So Giftable is a game all about inventing fantastical gifts for fictional people. After we introduce the character, then everyone can invent a present. And everyone can include anyone watching along. After at least half the people have raised their hands, so we've got 3 other people that we can see on screen. So after 2 people here have raised their hands, it's just going to be going around everyone. Everyone will explain why their gift is a good gift for this person and why you should choose this gift as the best gift that has been bestowed upon this person. And then the judge accepts. It's a little bit like, it reigns back to Phrasal, which is also for the L deck, as well as the better known Apples to Apples, Snake Oil. I don't know why I'm comparing it to all those games. You know the rules I've just told you. You'll pick it up. Oh yeah, and to invent the present, you have to use 1 letter from each card. So it has to be a 2-word present. So let me give you an example. And I will make myself a little bit bigger. We are going to be talking about Sienna. Sienna is a saxophonist. Now, the name has to start with one of these letters, and the job or vocation has to start with one of these letters. Now, think of a gift for Sienna as a saxophonist. Your gift could use the initials GH, or OG, or TH, or OT, or any other combination of these letters. And once you've thought of a gift for Sienna the saxophonist, then please just raise your hand. Or if you're in the comments, just type it out and let us know why your gift is a good gift for Sienna the saxophonist. Now, during this time, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Sienna the saxophonist, just to give everyone a bit of time to think. So, Sienna the saxophonist came from Romania, part of the EU, since I believe the 1990s. I might be wrong on that, but I definitely sent a letter there today, and I definitely didn't have to put any customs form because it's definitely part of the EU. True facts. Anyway, so Sienna the saxophonist is a very staunch advocate for the EU and is very proud that they're going to continue being part of the EU. But Sienna doesn't. But Sienna really wants to express themselves, all their political beliefs, all their notions of equality and happiness and joy and wonders of the world through music. And Sienna started off being a little bit improvisational, maybe rustling a newspaper inspired by the Belleville Rendezvous, if you know that film. But then soon enough, Sienna was like, yeah, I feel like I want to express myself using melodies. And, you know, you can still be a wee bit creative and improvisational through that. And so Sienna is all about the improvisational solo saxophone recordings. So,
I feel like I was too busy listening to that to think about something, but I've got...
So we've got one from the audience. Amy, James, Rose, do you have any ideas? Okay.
Yeah, I've got one that I could do. It's you know, we're warming up this round.
Okay, I'll give Amy and James a tiny bit more time to think. So Sienna the saxophonist is, you know, she's been asked to play as part of an orchestra and turned it down because she was like, no, I want to be the solo musician. That's, you know, my true calling. I don't want to be constrained by... So anyway, Amy, what is your present for Sienna?
Mine is ogre grog. As it's a well-known fact that ogres are only found in the EU. So they're a great creature as an advocacy for keeping everyone together. And their grog is really good for soothing the throat and really good for making everyone jolly. And so a big jug of ogre grog would go down nicely, I feel.
Nice. Okay. I see we've got from the comments, Casey says a healing tonic in case Sienna gets a sore mouth playing the sax. Like that. Okay, so Rose.
So I'm gonna go with a house-sized trumpet because if she's into the saxophone, she might like to play other wind instruments too. And you said she really likes to make herself and her feelings known. So I think going with the biggest possible musical instrument would really be helpful for that.
So this trumpet is actually the size of a house?
Yes. She might need to stand on like a big ladder to get up to the top, but I think it should be doable.
Okay. And Dave Wetherall says a trombone. Similar to what Rose was saying, because the saxophone isn't loud enough. And finally, James, do you have anything in mind?
Well, you've already had T for trumpet and T for trombone. I was going to say T for tuba, but I think it would be kind of following it all on, wouldn't it, really?
Completely.
I'm going to go a bit left field and going to go with a Hungarian octopus playing a guitar, because why not? You've never seen one before in your life, and I think it would be quite fun to have a little playmate. I think if she's doing a solo saxophone, you want somebody to count you in, someone with a bit of tune, and someone you can trust to sort of play different beats and different chords, which no one in orchestra can do at the same time. And it's cute, isn't it? Everyone likes an octopus playing the guitar.
Yeah.
It would certainly sell, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Dave Weatherall does say that their trombone's the size of a town. So
Well,
how it's doing?
it's not the
Rose,
size, Dave. It's what you do with it, I'm afraid.
I've been thinking about this. So we've got the Ogre Grog, the Healing Tonic, the house-sized trumpet, the trombone, and the guitar-playing octopus. I think that it's got to be the house-sized trumpet, because if you've got an instrument the size of a town, that just feels like, you know, where are you going to store it? And, like, I mean, do you have to walk over to this big plane bunker type thing? Like, is there a... And, yeah, it feels like that might be a bit too much. Whereas if it's the size of a house, at least you're going to be able to play it, and then people are going to be in... You might be able to play that on a stage, potentially at Glastonbury. I mean, Glastonbury stages are big enough for a small house. You could have just that one trumpet on a big thing, and then people would have maybe be standing back a little bit further, but all enjoying this crazy house-sized trumpet. I think that could totally work.
That the Large Hadron Collider, which is the size of a huge town buried under the Earth, is literally a big instrument, a big sort of brass tube, isn't it, or made out of various metals. And I wonder what sort of tune it would play. You know,
it's a fair point.
It's like a big trombone stuck under your sort of village, isn't it?
Casey says that everyone would go here and be like, "Yeah, bye hearing."
I think people do that at Glasgow anyway. So
Rose, you've got to come up with the name of someone.
Okay.
Starting with one of these letters.
Well, I'm going to go for the obvious, even though it is tempting. So I'm going to go with Rowan.
Rowan. And what is their vocation, or quality, or species, or
they
profession?
are Yeti hunter.
Rowan the Yeti hunter.
Yeah,
and so now everyone else has to come up with a present for Rowan the Yeti hunter using one of these letters, and one of these letters as the initials for 2 words, whilst Rose tells a little bit more about who Rowan the Yeti hunter is.
So they are obsessed with cryptids. They've traveled the world. They've seen the Loch Ness Monster. They've seen the Chupacabra, but they've never seen the Yeti. And so all their money is spent hiking the world in search of this elusive Yeti so they can take a photo of it. And yeah, I mean, they really love traveling and they really hate working, but you've got to do it sometimes because, I mean, that Yeti's not going to fund itself, really. So yeah.
Okay, so
any takers in the comments for our Yeti hunter?
It normally takes there's about 10 seconds of lag between us seeing the comments and, you know, us saying something and them potentially commenting on it.
Well, so bear in mind as well that Yetis live in very cold places, so Rowan's going to need a lot of warm clothing. That's important. And a lot of snacks, because there's not much else to eat up a mountain. You got to bring it yourself or you will starve.
Okay. So, and now that Amy and I both have things, you can start calling upon us as you choose, Rose.
Okay, well, I will go with additions. So let's start with Amy. What have you got?
A thermoconductive electrosearcher. So it's going to keep her warm by absorbing her own body heat and then keeping their own body heat and keeping it all internal. But also it makes a little beeping sound, and if they get closer, it's a bit like hot and cold to the Yeti or anything of an unusual nature. Start beeping faster, so it becomes like a bit like a game as well.
That sounds very practical, very useful. Bez?
So I was thinking, you know, maybe inspired a little bit by Brooklyn Nine-Nine, a toit poncho. So what you want is just sometimes you just want to look good, and you want to keep yourself, you know, keep the rain off you. You want a poncho, but you want it to look toit.
When you see that Yeti, you want to look toit. You know, if it's for the selfie.
First impressions are a must.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to impress this Yeti.
James?
I've got the ideal thing that will definitely bag your Yeti. If you're looking for something that's a bit of a mythical beast, it will be a paranormal harpoon. This is a harpoon designed to seek out and kill and find anything that's not quite real or mythical.
Wow.
Well, whilst that would be very practical, I think I like my Yetis alive. So I think I'm going to have to go for the electromagnetic thermolocation device. Was that it?
No, sorry, Rose. I don't know if you've seen the comments.
Oh, no, I haven't.
So Casey gave two answers, and you're only meant to give to one answer. But Casey went for, firstly, a hard-earned exoskeleton to protect you from Yeti attacks, and secondly, tinned potatoes, premium camping food.
Delicious.
We'll allow you the two things this time, Casey. And if Rose likes either of them, and Dave Wedderall's come in with Yeti
pheromones.
Oh yes, a good idea.
To attract with a sense of smell.
Idea. I think the hardened exoskeleton is probably good too, because you know, we like the Yeti, but it might not like us. So I'm still gonna go with, oh my god, I cannot say it. The electromagnetic thermolocation device.
Sounds fancy too. It's what you pay for.
Yeah, exactly. It comes in like a really swish packaging. It's got lots of beeping lights on the side, you know.
So
you might have trouble charging it, but you know.
I'm sure it'll.
Congratulations, Amy. You are the winner of the round. But we had some good things from everyone. So now you have to come up with the name of the next person.
Okay, this is Odin.
Odin? Ooh.
And he is a mummifier.
Odin the mummifier. And now everyone uses these two cards, AP and AG, one letter from each card, to come up with gifts whilst Amy tells us about Odin the mummifier.
So Odin has always had a love for Egypt and everything Egypt. Really loves anything about any gods from any civilization, but Egypt really spoke to him. So he traveled to Egypt at a very young age and discovered everything about the pyramids and decided to start being a modern day mummifier. So anyone that would like to sign up to be mummified when they die, Odin's got your back, and he'll even put in some special treats into the little sarcophagus with you, and it'll be like a normal burial, but you know, with a bit more guts and things, and he'll, you know, make them into lovely jars for you. And so he provides this new service of mummification for the modern day person.
Okay, I think I got one. It's an obvious one.
I've got one. So now that two of us have one, you can start calling upon us, Amy.
Well, let's go for James. He seems keen.
It's obvious one, isn't it? I'll give you some. I'll give him the gift of an agreeable pharaoh. So a pharaoh that has agreed to be mummified, because it's got to be consensual, obviously, and obviously it's what he wants. You can't get a better type of subject than a pharaoh, really, to be mummified there.
Very true. I'm sure he'd be really enthused about that. such a high honour. Bev, how about yours?
Oh, I was going a wee bit similar. Maybe, as James said, P for Pharaoh was a bit obvious. I was thinking a godlike Pharaoh. So basically, someone who has actually managed to survive all this time since ancient Egypt, just basically presenting them with the opportunity to meet this person who has basically ascended from the human plane and become incredibly godlike. And I don't know what's going on with this godlike Pharaoh, and I'm kind of a bit frightened to think about what they might do to us if we dare to speak ill of them. But yeah, the godlike Pharaoh is something that I believe Odin might really want to meet.
I think he'd love that. Have you got one, Rose?
Yeah, so it sounds like Odin is a bit of a newbie in this business, and honestly, without any training, I don't trust him with a dead body. So I would be giving him an anatomical guide, so he can at least find where the brain is and then remove it.
Oh, nice.
Looking at Dave Weatherall's thing, so just to clarify, Dave, you need to use one of these letters. So it might be like, so the basic word has to be like, you said a roll of toilet paper.
Maybe it was P for paper. But...
Yeah, the idea is that you have P for paper, and then it could be like average paper or garden paper or green paper or something like that. I don't know if that makes sense, Dave. But
armadillo
yeah.
paper. They go with the armadillo ink.
But otherwise, Dave says a roll of toilet paper to mummify people with, and in case he gets caught short.
It would be handy.
I think it might be downright immoral to become a mummifier in the middle of this current crisis, given the TP shortages that have been happening.
Yeah, I mean, he'd have to be using something slightly different.
I mean, you are actually using gauze, I think.
Yeah, you'd be using gauze and things like that.
No, the ancient Egyptians used toilet paper. This is more true fact from Bez's board game stream.
Yeah.
Aside, not a fact.
Totally true.
Yeah.
Totally true.
I really like the godlike Pharaoh. I like that one first.
So, I choose the next character, who is going to be Laura, is a camera person, and Laura, so these are your letters. So hopefully this makes sense to everyone in the audience. Use one of these letters as your first or second word, and one of these letters as your first or second word. So you could have E or K as your first word and T or M as your second, or vice versa. You could have T or M as your first letter of the first word and E or K as the first letter of the second word. And yeah, so Laura, the camera person, they are just really into films. Ever since they were young, they've been enthralled with what films can do. Ever since they watched Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and they were, wow, that was amazing. I wonder if I could film stuff like that. They learned all about the panning and the zooming and the dolly and the words that I don't know because I'm not a camera person. And then they, back in the days before they had a proper camera like on a tripod or on a little thing that was moving around, they got their arms to be really strong just so they could hold the camera still and never move it around. But now Laura is working on some, amazing films. They've started working on the Star Wars films and a bunch of things for Disney. They've even started using their expertise a little bit with virtual cameras in 3D space because they thought, yeah, this is an interesting thing, just being able to choose exactly where things go and suddenly going into an endoscopy in someone's mouth, because that's what you can do in 3D animation. Just dive into someone's mouth because that's what everyone wants to see. Okay, so Amy has an idea. Anyone else? Okay, let's start with Amy.
Okay, so mine is a magnificent kaleidoscope attachment to the camera. So it attaches onto the end of her camera and creates a kaleidoscope effect. And she can put lots of different things inside the kaleidoscope. So she could put leaves in it or sparkly things, and it will create different effects with what she's shooting to create a really unique effect for her filmmaking.
That would be really cool.
Yeah. Well, do you have something equally cool, Rose?
Oh, well, so it's a little known fact in filmmaking that when people zoom in, they're not actually zooming in. They're using a telescopic extender so that they can simply pull out the camera so it gets all the way in closer to the actors for those real close-ups, you know. And nothing will keep you in the moment more than seeing a giant camera gradually moving towards you on a very long stick. So she absolutely needs one of those to stay in the business.
Telescopic extenders. So there are no zoom lenses in the film business. More true facts from Bez's show.
Yeah.
It's all a lie.
Yeah.
James, do you have anything to offer?
I have something to offer. I'm not quite sure if it's any good or not. I don't know. I mean, I was thinking a magic eye. And I'm not quite sure why. Maybe because the eye could be used to see things that a camera can't, or maybe because the eye could be a camera when you want it to be, and you wouldn't have to carry one around with you. That would be more like a bionic eye, wouldn't it? With a B, so I haven't got a B. The only other thing I could think of.
Anything you want it to be.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean,
and so with this magical eye, you could do quite a lot. I would have thought, but I don't know. I mean, the only other thing I can think of beginning with K is knickers, but that's no good. That's no good for this sort of theme, is it? So I don't know.
I mean, I like the notion of a magic eye that can record things without needing, you know, to do anything, and certainly you could get some interesting shots. Because I guess you could potentially get your eye in places that maybe, a camera might not be able to get into, or maybe you just you're on holiday and you're swimming underwater and you're thinking,
Hey, you never miss a great moment.
You're selling my idea better than I could.
I mean, I almost feel like, it reminds me of that, Black Mirror episode with the eyes where they record everything all the time.
Yeah.
I think that this would be a thing that Laura would quite like. And so, sorry, Amy and Rose, I'm giving it to James.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you.
So, James, and hi, Hannah. It's lovely to see you there, and hope you're having a good evening. James is now going to give us the name of our next fictional character.
Teddy.
Teddy. And what is Teddy's profession, vocation, or species?
Teddy is a funfair owner.
I only just saw Dave's extraterrestrial tripod on photographing aliens. Sorry, came just a little bit. That came just a little bit too late. Sorry, Dave. I like that. I think I would have probably still given it to James. And hi again, Dave. Hannah. So, you were saying, James, what is Teddy?
Teddy owns a funfair.
Teddy is a funfair owner. And so, now everyone in the comments, and all three of us who aren't James, have to come up with 2 words, 1 word starting with this, 1 word starting with this, in either order, which makes a 2-word gift for Teddy the Funfair owner, whilst James tells us a little bit more about this person.
Oh dear. Well, once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there was this little creature called Teddy, and he owned a funfair. It wasn't a particularly interesting funfair, and he wished it would be. Not many people come to this fun fair. You want to have more interesting attractions to put in it, and lots of fun. Right now, it's a bit decrepit, a bit kind of falling apart at the seams. He has got much money to repair it, and he'd like to have a star attraction that you can put in this fun fair. and make everyone want to come from miles away. So we've got a couple of hands in the air. So I saw Rose.
Oh no! I made a
Okay.
mistake. I took 2 letters off the same card. Skip me while I think about things again.
All right, we'll pass on Rose then and give you time to think, and we'll go to Amy, please.
So mine is a yodeling fairy godmother. So not only will she be able to help with fixing up the park and making your wishes come true, but she's also an amazing yodeler to entertain your guests. And she can quite suitably go and into the middle of the fun fair and brighten everybody's day by giving them a good song and dance while she helps you fix things up.
This is Yodel as in the Swiss Yodel, not as in Yoda from Star Wars. Okay.
No, like yodeling, yeah, from the Swiss yodeling.
And
Okay.
Dave Weatherall has a flying elephant called Yombo.
That's cute. He named it.
A flying elephant.
A flying elephant. Now that's actually pretty on the button. Okay, and Bez?
Okay, I was thinking an eternal Ferris wheel. So this is a Ferris wheel that's going to be going round and it will never need any fixing up. It will just carry on going round and it won't ever get, the paints won't ever come off. It'll stay up to date with, modern technology because it just it's got these little nano computers that come up and they always fix it and add on little attachments. And when you're on this Ferris wheel, all these lights are whizzing around and people are just going, wow, this Ferris wheel is like no Ferris wheel you've ever seen before.
Oh dear. Well, I was going to say a very similar thing, which is an extreme Ferris wheel. And this Ferris wheel is so tall that it goes all the way up to space at the top.
Oh, wow.
Well, that would be insane.
It would be quite scary. Ferris wheels aren't usually scary, but this one would be. And all good fun fairs are a bit scary, so.
So is this Ferris wheel, is it actually circular or would it be more like a roller coaster or like
I feel like it might be elliptical in order to get the height up. It might be a lot taller than it is wide. Otherwise, it might be a bit impractical.
Just a bit. And you've got Hannah who says the oscillating yo-yo, a ride with a circular module attached to cables which take it up and down as it turns in a circle.
Oof. Sounds like a recipe for puking, but I want to go on it, so... Again, like all the best fun fair rides.
So, James,
I mean, if I was to take them one by one, I mean, the 2 Ferris wheel ideas, the reason why I'd probably not go for that, or Teddy wouldn't go for that rather, is because, well, if it was an eternal Ferris wheel, I'd wonder when would it stop so you could get off? It would just keep going and going and going, and you'd never be able to leave the bloody thing. If it was an extremely high Ferris wheel going into space, then you might run out of air and you might die. And then when you come back down again, you'd probably be a bit cold and not very able to do much else really with your life. So it would be good fun though if you had a spacesuit on, I suppose. The yodeling fairy godmother. I like that because it fits into the theme of the story. I'm not so sure where yodeling fits in, but that's a cool one. And the oscillating yo-yo sounds more like something you'd buy in, I don't want to say because it's a PG film, but yeah. And the flying elephant, well, I did love the idea of that. It fits in really good with the fun fair. And if you can, I think that for me would be definitely a star attraction in anyone's fun fair.
Jumbo, the flying elephant.
Yeah.
Yombo.
So what on Dave?
Dave Weatherall has won this. So just because of a bit of lag, I'm going to name the person and give the species or whatever, but Dave, you can fill in the details as much as you want and talk about their story whilst everyone else thinks of presents for them. So for Dave's turn, this is going to be Teresa, the cab driver. I know that's a bit American, but Teresa is a cab driver. And Teresa actually comes from New York, or as they call it, New York. And now everyone needs to come up with a 2-word gift using one of these letters as the initials of each card. And Dave, feel free to tell us about Teresa, the cab driver, and what kinds of things Teresa's into. Maybe they ride around Brooklyn. I don't know. Maybe Teresa actually used to come from San Francisco and they decided to go to New York to harden them up a little bit. Maybe Teresa really likes croissant d'almonds. Oh. Apparently, yeah, Teresa is frequently drunk and very dangerous. That's not good. That's not good.
That's not good at all.
Okay. Feel free to tell us more about Teresa, the cab driver. Dave, I've got an idea. I think everyone... Oh, she loves singing as she drives her passengers around. Oh. Okay, we've got everyone. James, have you got something?
Yeah, I think I've got one. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going. Let's just go clockwise around the screen, starting from me. I'm thinking that. Really, I think the best gift for Teresa is something to. And apparently, Teresa's never played a board game in their life.
It's tragic.
Sounds like a bad question.
They're quite hard to play drunk, to be fair. So
I don't know. I think it's a person.
Oh my god! Okay, you know what? I'm going. Oh.
Do you want me to go, Bez? If you're
I was thinking this is kind of twisting the rules, but can I say in a bind? I would give Teresa in a bind.
Oh, that's so funny.
Very, very sneaky.
I like it.
That one's good drunk.
Exactly, because Teresa might be wondering, okay, what are these board games? Why do I want to play your damn board games? I've heard of this Agricola. Why do I want to be all about subsistence farming? Why would anyone like that? And it's like, okay, you know, here, try in a bind, and maybe Teresa will enjoy that.
Mm-hmm.
Amy.
So mine is a miasma breathalyzer. And what it does is it makes it seem like your drunken breath is actually just the New York smoke and miasma in the air. And so when a police person says, "Are you drunk?" when they pull you over, you can go, "No, officer, look at my test. It's fine." And then move on with your day and enjoy singing to your customers.
Okay, is it me?
Yep.
I would give Teresa the British monarchy because Americans love Britain and we really don't want them. So I think we should re-gift them over there. And I mean, some of them also have a terrible record with driving, so I think she would feel right at home with those guys.
Nice shout. And James?
Well, the obvious answer is the map of Brooklyn, but that's too obvious. So I'm probably going to give them a musical ambulance because they're quite dangerous. Probably get lots of accidents.
It has to be one from each card.
Oh, that's such a shame.
Has it got to be? Oh, really?
Musical bus then.
Oh, I think you can let that go. Really?
Dave gets to make the judgment. Can we let it go, Dave?
Yeah, well, you can go with musical ambulance because mine was basically a cheat. So go on with yours and see what Dave comes up.
Yeah, so the idea is they rather than going Nino, they can play music of their choice, but they still obviously want to have some medical care on hand for when they do get involved in their scrapes and accidents.
And I don't know if anyone else in the comments, like Hannah or Casey, has any ideas, but well, I just
Thanks
noticed.
Thanks for joining us, Hannah.
I just noticed the whole thing about don't worry about breaking up the flow to reply. Too late. I flash it up on screen. It's lovely to have you. And Yeah, we're always on at 8:10 every Tuesday and Thursday. But yeah, so Dave says, I love the idea of her drunkenly playing in a bind as she drives, but that's far too dangerous.
Oh no.
So, what will Dave choose? What's the winning gift? Oh my god, there's such suspense. Will it be in a bind? Will it? What was your one, Amy, if you remind us?
Miasma breathalyzer.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. And then Rose had
The British monarchy.
of course. My memory is really short. My short-term memory is really bad tonight. And James came up with the musical ambulance. And Dave, almost dropped a lot of water. Dave, make up a choice. Don't keep us in suspense. Who is going to be the winner? So, while we're thinking, we can have a quick bout of competition time. Competition time. This is the song for competition time. If you're new in the comments, tell us what's the marvelous thing. Explain why it's marvelous. Use the words marvelous in your comments, and you will automatically enter the competition. You could win either a sketch of something like that, or you could win In a Bind Junior, which is the version of In a Bind that has animal noises and stuff. So if you want to win a little gift, tell us a thing that is marvelous, and you don't need to attribute it. That is the end.
Does it In a Bind Junior contain the animal noise of the armadillo by any chance?
No.
I think someone did put a YouTube link in the comments to an armadillo noise, but I haven't clicked it yet.
Wait, where?
It was quite fun.
Yeah, Dave Wedderall did that really early on. So that was us with James getting their third point, and
cool.
I think that's the end of the first game, and James is the winner. Congratulations, James!
Yay!
Thank you, Dave. Thank you. Everyone.
Also, armadillos sound like angry cats.
Oh, great! Oh, scary!
And for the next game, before we start it up, we've got another friendly face joining us, which is it's the person with the facial hair who is in a bind and who is all about the road safety and planning permissions. It is Andrew Dennison.
Yeah, something like that.
Hello, Andrew.
Good evening, all.
Hiya.
I think I'm not that far from you, Amy, because you're Dice Cup, aren't you? You're Dice Cup, Amy. Because I am in Nottingham.
Yay!
So as soon as we're allowed to actually get back to Dice Cup, we will doubtless cross over in the real world. That thing that's outside. Yeah.
No, right?
I think I know everyone. I know Rose from Inside a Box and Bez.
Yes.
And we haven't met, have we?
Me?
No, not you, not Bez.
James.
James. Names have disappeared and my brain's locked up.
Yeah, that outside real world. I mean, I actually think now that my window is like a television screen. It's like it keeps changing colours and stuff, but I'm not quite sure what actually the channel is.
I imagine Amy's is much like mine. It's got this sort of vertical interference going on non-stop. It's just this stuff falling out of the sky, and half of our garden tried to float away earlier.
It's been absolutely awful, but
steroids and it's a lot. Yeah.
So the next game that we're going to play is going to be How Much Money, which is all about guessing how much money it would take to make someone do some crazy stunt. And the closest without going over wins a point. And everyone's allowed to ask clarifying questions. And then once that's been done, it's like, okay, that's how much we reckon it would take that person to do this thing.
And today I'm going to remember the rule about not going over, because I always forget.
And I'm going to not try to use the number £500 million again, because I think it's been overused.
Yeah, you reckon that trope's been and sailed?
I think so.
Yeah.
first, I would like to ask everyone, including anyone in the comments, but especially everyone on screen, what is a recent highlight? What's a thing that you have enjoyed recently in your life? I would like to say that I have been enjoying Corridor. I mean, so I am biased towards the company Gigamic, because here's a disclaimer of bias. Gigamic totally pay me money, but that's only because I made Yogi. It's nothing to do with me having to say nice things about their products. But genuinely, I think that Corridor is probably my second favorite two-player perfect information strategic game. Like, the first one is Go, but Corridor, I was playing it, you know, just it's just so much fun. It takes such a short time. It's completely unlike everything. You've got it's really simple to learn. You get your little pawns from A to B, and then you've got little walls that you use to block the other person. And I played it in real life because I can get people that I live with to play really short games. And sometimes Chris comes over like once or twice a week to help me out with admin stuff. That's the one person that's been really coming over. And we just had a quick game of that just today, because it is something that you can fit into 10 minutes, and it's a lot of fun, and you can handicap it a little bit, even though it doesn't say in the rules. And I even started playing it on Board Game Arena. I think I played it 11 times yesterday. I got an account on Board Game Arena, and yeah, it's a really nice game. And I've barely scratched the surface of the strategy. I only won, I think, 3 or 4 times out of the 11 games I played, but to be fair, these are people who are serious enough to play Corridor in the internet, so I'm not too unhappy about that.
How many?
But yeah, pardon?
How many do you need for a game?
2.
2. Okay.
Are you on Board Game Arena?
I'm not. I was just curious from your context of how many you'd won. Was that you've won 3 out of 12 4-player games, which would be like par? Or
no, I've won like 3 or 4 out of 11 2-player games, which is under par, but.
Yeah, as you say, if there's people are serious about it and stuff, that's a decent entry level. You know, you're competitive. That's
I'm at least winning some games.
Yeah, I remember I went through a period where I played Power Grid online. I can't remember why. Like, I liked Power Grid, right? I still like Power Grid. But for a week, I think I was ill, and I found one of the board game things I played Power Grid. And believe you me, there were people in Germany who. Yeah, I wasn't even close. Like, it was laughable how bad I was at Power Grid. And this was coming from the standpoint of I enjoyed the game in a social setting and would win a decent number of them. And I went and played it online. It's just like, nope. There are people who play Euro games at a meta level that is way beyond what I'm prepared to engage in. Fascinating just to watch, though, just to be part of it. It's just like, okay, I don't even know how that happened. Like, I don't even know how they've got that far ahead. But anyway, random diatribes.
If anyone wants to hit me up, I think that, you can find me on Board Game Arena. My name is Stuff by Bez, same as basically everything by me. So, Amy, what has been your recent highlight?
I've really been enjoying gaming online. I've been streaming on Twitch for the first time ever, so I've just been doing that for the last 2.5 weeks, and I've been having really loads of fun engaging with new people, and I think that's been really a big highlight for me.
What are you playing?
At the moment, I've been playing. So I've converted the Pokemon TCG tournaments that I usually run in the store online. So I've been streaming those as I've been playing, and it's really allowing kind of a lot of people from all over the UK to join in with our tournaments, play with our local players, and really get engaged. So I've been streaming the Pokemon tournaments twice a week, and then in between those, I've been playing a Pokemon Nuzlocke randomizer challenge. So we've been playing Pokemon Fire Red, and the audience members are getting to name the Pokemon as we go through and stuff like that. And
nice.
Hopefully make it to the end of the challenge without failing.
Very cool.
Rose, do you have any recent highlights you would be able to share?
Not so much from board gaming. I've
It
got
can
a
just be a
surprisingly
nice
little board gaming done. But
a nice meal or anything?
I've really enjoyed being able to go out to the park to meet up with people for a socially distanced drink. That is really nice, and I miss one of the reasons I love living in London is because so many people are here and there's so much to do, and it's nice to get even a smidgen of that back,
Yeah, just even though it can be so frustrating when you're not able to actually reach out and touch, but just being across a little bit from someone else, it can be really nourishing.
Yeah, it's really different to talking to people online, even though that's fun. You know, seeing someone face to face feels very different.
Yeah.
For sure. There's no lag, you hear the audio from different sides.
Yeah.
James.
Again, it's one of those moments where I'm not a great fan of these moments because people have very exciting and interesting lives, obviously. There's me with my boring kind of day-to-day business. I think I went to the shop the other day. I went to Waterstones is open now in my local high street, and it was quite funny. They've obviously got a great sense of humour because high up on their main shelf of board games is the game Pandemic, and that made me smile. So that was the highlight of my day shopping the other day. I told you about the badgers the other night, didn't I? That was quite cute watching them in the woodlands. And then just eating food and not doing too much really. It was bin day. It was bin day last week. So I put the bins out. That was a highlight. Just a normal, typical run-of-the-mill lifestyle.
Yeah.
And obviously, coming here to Bez's board games has to be the highlight of my month, my year. Yes, not just my day.
And that's very sweet of you, James, to say. And Andrew, what is a recent highlight of yours? Because I've not seen you for
I've
over
got
a week.
3. I know, and I never normally do well at this, so I have like 3. One of them I'm not going to share straight away with everybody on the stream, but I might tell you guys afterwards. It's a little private, but it's friends thing. We have some blackbirds nesting in our garden as of last week, and they've literally set up on a bird table thing on our fence, and they've built a nest in the last week, and they're great. I could see blackbirds out of my window building this nest. It's lovely. And on the gamer front, there was a PC game that came out on Tuesday that I've been watching and has been trailed for months, and it came out, and it's in early access, and I'm really enjoying playing it. Hard Space Shipbreaker, for anybody who's looked at it. It's a massively engineering-y, geeky, dismantle ships with laser beams type game, which is to say it's the sort of thing I can get on with. 3-dimensional movement in space with inertia, and if you like playing Elite Dangerous, stuff like that, it might be up your street. But I'll freely admit it's a niche game, but it's a unique title, and I've been watching it for ages, and it came out, and I was able to snag it. So been putting some hours on that one.
Sounds awesome. And Dave Weatherall says that a recent highlight of theirs was watching Duns. Oh, we missed your second thing.
No, the Blackbirds were the first thing is the one I'll tell you guys later. The second thing was the Blackbirds, and the third thing was Hard Space Shipbreaker. I should have saved them up. I mean, normally we get to this feature of the stream, and I go, not really sure, not much in the last few days. So I've got an embarrassment of riches this week.
Yeah. I mean, it's good to appreciate everything around you, and just whether it's a meal, I got to eat some salty popcorn yesterday. Just put it in the microwave and pop, and there you go. From Lidl, again. Cheap salty
I feel
popcorn.
the need to ask you, have you ever tried garlic popcorn? Because I feel this is something you should love and should be done.
That sounds delicious. I'd eat that.
But we have ribbed Bez in the past for her liking of garlic mead, but garlic popcorn, I did that once, and that is a thing. No. Ask
Are
her.
you aghast? Are you aghast at the notion of garlic mead throws?
That way.
Yes.
No, that way.
How
Like
about
garlic.
you, Amy?
No, I think that would be fine.
You're talking about the honey wine, right?
Yes.
Yes, we're talking
There's a
about
lot
honey
of
wine.
different
Would you put
varieties
garlic
in
in
German.
that?
Like you've got chili raspberry, you've got cherry mead, you've got ginger mead, you've got coffee mead.
Ginger mead.
All of these
sounds
are valid,
great.
apart from garlic mead.
If you
Garlic.
look up Magic Mead as a company. It's a company based in Nottingham, but they post anywhere, and they have so many flavors, and they're delicious. And they come in bottles, and that can't be anything better.
What would you rather have, garlic or coriander?
Magic Mead, yeah, they're amazing.
Yeah, I found it.
Yeah.
Those are both very peculiar flavour
It's not a
combinations.
drink for a date.
Definitely
I'm
garlic.
sorry.
Let's be honest, it's not a drink for a date.
Coriander.
And Dave Wedderall, enjoyed the Dungeons and Pronouns. It's
That was
just
a
a
good
quick
film.
short film that I posted, and that was thanks to James, who actually introduced it to me. And
And I found
now
another friend. I thought it was a really good film. Yeah, really good film.
James introduced it to me, I introduced it to Dave, and now maybe Dave's introducing it to you. And if you're in the Facebook chat, then follow the link, but not now, after this show. Because now we are about to go to how much money would it take you to do this thing? How much money?
You want to play? Come on.
You are going to need a bit of paper for the people
Oh.
You wanted
what's
to
their name?
Paradox.
Hello,
I should be right
Paradox.
back. I have the paper. I'm missing something else.
So everyone does need paper and pen. All we're playing on simple modes, which is just you need the paper and pen. Everyone's going to write a number, and that's basically all you need to do. Space to write one number per turn. If you're following along in the comments, obviously just type it in. And I'm going to look up the cards, which I've got on the screen right here. And I'm scrolling down to page 3 because we've played this a few times. And so, how much money? And we will have the Daredevil, which is going to go clockwise, starting with me, because why not? I can explain how it works. And how much money would I demand in order to only eat raw vegetables for a month? To eat nothing but raw vegetables.
Nothing but
Now,
Does
at
popcorn
this
count
point,
as a raw vegetable?
pardon?
Does popcorn count as a raw vegetable?
No. I mean, it's been cooked.
Okay, not really cool.
What about
Yeah.
honey mead? Is that a vegetable? Garlic mead, is that a vegetable?
I mean,
Mm.
I'm going to say that I would not be able to drink anything except for water.
Oh dear.
Are we back to
Just
garlic mead?
vegetables and garlic. What about
So at
fruit?
this point, we're talking about how much money to eat
Only
only raw veg for a month. And
Oof.
people are allowed to ask me any questions that they want.
Could you have fruit or herbs or any other vegetable-based life form?
I think I'm taking this very literally. It's only allowed to be things that in the culinary world are known as vegetables. So you can have tomatoes, even though they are scientifically a fruit, but because it's all based on what's culinary-wise
Accepted as a vegetable. Okay.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
wouldn't be
you
vegetables that would
al-
kill you, would it? Like raw potatoes and things.
I
Yeah, I
mean,
mean,
I
obviously-
might have raw potatoes.
They can kill you. Enough raw
Yeah,
potato
but
can
it's
kill
only
you.
if you eat lots of them.
If,
There are
if you peel
people
them, you're
who
fine.
eat this as a diet like all the time, so it
Yeah,
is
there are people that do it
possible.
raw diet, isn't it? 'Cause,
Yeah.
like, I think, like a lot of it can like get rid of diabetes and stuff by doing like a raw veg diet.
Yeah. I think it's one of those
Yeah.
you have to wean yourself onto because your system has to adapt. Are you allowed
Also,
to
for
take...
the average person, it's a really bad idea.
Oh, yeah. Hugely bad idea. Are you allowed to take supplements, given that you would actually have to eat those? Are you allowed to take vitamins or something to counter the fact that you're obviously skipping things that you need nutritionally? Because I want to say a month on just raw veg could well kill you, as in you could start to have serious problems with things like amino acids inside a month.
Let's say that I am allowed to take supplements like capsules, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to, drink anything fancy like, alcohol
fuel.
or fizzy juice or fruit juice or anything like that. I'm allowed to have water, supplements, and raw veg, and that's it.
Okay,
How
so
do
you're
you
allowed to
say
do the minimum
raw
necessary to
vegetables
keep yourself
to-
alive.
By the sounds of it.
What's the French for raw vegetable stew, Bez?
I don't know the French for raw.
Merde.
Sorry.
No,
That's even worse.
It would be, but that is also my opinion on eating raw vegetable stew for a month. So
I don't think you can have a stew if it's raw. Like that's contrary to the very
That's
definition
basically,
of stew.
yeah. That
Yes, it would
feels
be more
like a
cold water,
vegetable
vegetables,
salad.
wouldn't it?
yeah,
Cold waters and vegetables.
yeah,
Sorry,
go.
Amy, what's your question?
Which month is it?
Ooh.
Oh, I'm allowed. Let's say I'm allowed to pick the month, but I have to do it, within the next, by the end of the year.
Yeah,
Okay.
you don't have to skip Christmas dinner if that's a thing for you.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's some holidays, or there might be a birthday, or it could be a really long month or a shorter month.
Yeah, I'm just saying
I'm
a
allowed
month
to
without
choose
cake
the
is
month.
just.
Okay, you're allowed to choose.
And so I would probably choose July.
You're gonna get.
I mean, August is my birthday, and December, hopefully I might be able to have a Christmas dinner. There's nothing special happening in July. I mean, I'm not really that excited to go out and go to restaurants or stuff, or yeah, I'm not expecting, although.
And you could still take part in picnics because it would be easy to take a raw veg lunch with you.
Yeah, I could take my own self-made things. I'm just thinking it would mean that I couldn't partake in some of the house cooking meals. Maybe I'd pick a different month, like
By definition, you wouldn't cook because it's all raw.
Yeah, I mean, you can pick up people, you just can't eat it.
That's the interesting point. Am I right in saying you're normally omnivorous? Or
yes.
Are you... Yes, you're normally omnivorous.
I eat everything.
Yeah.
And
vegetarian, that'd be particularly bad. Like, it'd be easy even. Like, it would just be like, oh, okay, I just don't cook it then.
Yeah.
So I have written down a number, and I'm just going to say, I'm assuming that I still have to buy all the raw vegetables.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm
But
assuming
then raw
that-
vegetables are cheaper than anything else you probably would eat anyway, so...
Not
Probably.
necessarily.
You're gonna need to eat a lot of them to stay full, though. So
There is that. You're going to eat a lot of raw veg, and then your supplements to make sure you don't actually die.
Yeah.
I'm going. So I'm pondering my number. Oh dear,
Bez has
Sorry,
decided her number is too small.
No, I just kind of got a bit of red on my red clothes, but it's a different red.
At least everything's red.
This is a zombie throwback. I had red on everything for about 2 years. My phone had red on it. Yeah, my wallet had red on it. Everything had red on it. Just
Okay, I've made an approximate number, and everyone now reveal how much you think it would take me to eat only raw veg for an entire month. We've got 300, 31,800.
Oh no, sorry.
Amy, I can't
that
quite
says
see that. 1,950 and
15k.
15k. Okay. Well, there's a range of magnitudes
in the comments, Steve Weatherall has 1,234.
I'm
see what
feeling
you think
confident
there.
here that if Bez hasn't gone silly high, that I'm going to come in as the only one who's lower.
I'm
Yes!
sorry.
I
I
will
would do
bet
that
it's
for
4,000.
1,000. I know I would break by the end of the month.
Oh, I
I'd be
totally
like,
would.
I mean, I kind of
I
thought
totally
that
would.
there because
I'll take your money, Rose. Like 15 grand is barely enough. But
This is
The
the
reason
amount
why I
that
chose
would
that
make me
number-
to actually keep doing it throughout the month.
Mm,
Like, I
mm.
might say at the start of the month that I would do it for £1,000, but by the end I'd be like,
yeah, just up.
I
it,
mean,
you
I
know.
feel like I would. I quite like challenging myself and challenge myself to have these diets, and I feel like that would be like some good motivation to actually do it. And I feel like I would, although I do worry about all the supplements, I'd probably have to do a little bit more research into how much those supplements would have to be, how easy they are to get. But I feel like, I feel like I could just embrace the novelty of it and just going out to the market every couple of days and buying a whole bunch of raw veg.
If it didn't actually have to be raw,
I kind of went.
James,
I kind of went
sorry,
a bit more
like-
logical than that. I was like, £1,000 a day for 31 days in July with £800 worth of vegetables going on top. And I thought,
Fair enough.
that's what I
went
thought.
for 10 quid a day.
Try
You
to
want
put
kind of
No,
it.
just
a
too
bit of a
cheap.
reward for that doing each day, didn't you? Rather than a tenner a day or something.
Mhm.
I mean, it's not going to be his full-time job to eat
Her.
vegetables, so he doesn't need loads of money for it.
No.
So,
I believe I got a point though. That's
Yeah,
the
you
key
did
takeaway
get
here.
a
I
point,
believe
yeah.
I got the point.
Andrew, yeah, you always win this one.
just
I
to
don't. I used to be awful at it until I realised that lowballing is totally the thing to do. I did honestly think it might be £1,000, but I thought if she puts like 750, I'm going to get screwed. So I thought I'll go low because I bet lots of you are going to answer high. So I'm going to go low and see if I can come in under.
Oh yeah,
But I was still
£1,000
£700 off.
very cheap, Bez. We need to have a chat with you about your finances on that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
You need,
I mean,
you
some
need
it's
a new
probably
agent, I think.
tax-deductible. Yeah. But I mean, if it didn't actually have to be technically raw veg, the shakes I sometimes use, Huel, are all vegetable vegan products. Admittedly, I then make them with full fat milk, so they're no longer vegan. But you can live on that stuff, and I know one guy who does. He did it as a diet for a month. But they include the supplements. They include the vitamins, minerals. Yeah, couldn't do it. But then I'm this shape, and my aim is to try to put like 10, 14 kilos on in a year. So I have one or two of these things a day made with full fat milk because it's 1,600 extra calories.
Yeah.
He's trying to do it
And-
because he weighs 3 times what I do and wants to do the opposite. So he makes them with water and has 1,600
Now
calories
move-
a day total. So different reasons. But it does have the supplement in. So you can live on a vegetable diet with an adequate supplement.
Unless you're me.
Dave
Unless
does
you're
say
Amy.
in the comments they were closer, and that's correct. 1,234 is closer to 1,000.
Oh yes, he was.
But
yeah,
as you can see at the bottom, just coming up, closest without going over wins a point. It's literally just there. Closest
This is the
without
bit
going
I
over
always
wins a
forget.
point.
This is the bit I always forget. I need a clarification on Amy's, though, just out of interest. Is this because you're physically in some way unable to live on that diet, or is it because of the risk of homicide?
No, I'm horrendously allergic to raw fruits, vegetables, and nuts, and I go straight into anaphylactic shock, and I would die immediately. So,
Right. Okay. If I come to the dice cup, then reminder not to give you like fresh grapes or anything. You know, not until I know where your EpiPen is.
Now, Amy, how much money would it take to let a toddler cut your hair?
Ooh.
Right. The other question is, are they using those little plastic toy scissors that you give babies to play with?
Or the ones you give like 4-year-olds to cut paper that
Or is
can
it a
cut paper
proper
if you
pair
get
of
really
proper
determined?
sharp things? In which case, isn't it
I feel like you
responsible to
couldn't
give a
give
child
a
something like
toddler.
that?
I feel like you couldn't give a toddler hairdressing scissors, so it would probably have to be safety scissors, and that's even more terrifying.
Yeah,
That's
and I
worse.
think like you're gonna give them a proper amount of time to really style it. Like this is not just one snip and done, is it?
No, that is no. This is let a toddler cut your hair, so it's not just a snip. This is clearly let a toddler give me a haircut.
To be fair,
Clearly, I've already
the
had
toddler's
experience that
attention
myself
span is
in
probably
person, so it's not an issue for me.
Oh,
Yeah.
the toddler's attention span's probably like 3 minutes. So to be fair, they're not going to finish the job.
That's worse. It's gonna be like a tuft on one side and then
Just get
all
the
down
start
on
somewhere
the
less
other.
Well, I don't know.
important
You
and
can
hopefully
fix
lose
it up
interest.
afterwards.
the issue is when you've got pretty coloured hair and then toddlers immediately ask me if I'm a mermaid when I'm walking around town, that then concerns me. Their attention span might stick a bit longer with the pretty
Yeah.
hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas
gave
mine,
my
mine
haircut
is bad enough
child.
already.
And
Yeah.
they were bad. They were bad. I had a lion with a beautiful mane and I literally clipped it right back. So I would not let a toddler anywhere near my hair. That would be a lot of money.
And that's why it's how much money to and ooh.
I suppose
So,
we're into philosophical. Would you
You
wear
like children?
if they butcher the job badly, and let's face it, they possibly would you then want to get a stylish wig, something like what you've got now, and take the opportunity to have some
I would probably have to invest in wigs afterwards.
wigs or extensions and something to restore your natural, well, not your natural look, your preferred look.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
so you'd want at least enough funds to make sure you could have a really good,
a really
whatever the correct term is for hair care.
More long hair,
Do
please.
How long
Do you-
since you
envisage yourself
actually
being-
cut off the length, if you know what I mean?
I 12 years.
12.
12.
12.
Wow.
That's the last time that a hairdresser actually took any length off my hair rather than just like getting the tiny gross bits off the end like a centimeter. Was 12 years ago, yeah.
Wow.
Do you have a preference
okay.
on which child it would be?
I don't think it matters, does it? They're all
Yeah, do you know any particularly responsible toddlers?
I feel like, have you seen that video of like the toddler running around with a knife and the mum just goes, "What have you got there?" And he goes, "A knife!" And she goes, "No!" I just feel like it's going to be that. Just with scissors.
So your level of optimism here, not high. The need for subsequent repair, quite definite. Yeah, I think we're
Do you
getting a
enjoy
theme.
having both your ears intact?
That's a good point. I might need an ear job after.
Yeah. How are you with the sight of your own blood?
Fine, luckily, but yeah, they'd be safe.
Okay.
I don't feel like they could do too much damage, but I might have a few more piercings afterwards. Right, how much am I going to put this? 'Cause this is important.
It's a
Okay,
number.
I've written down a number.
Ooh. You see, I
I
don't know
think
anything about
I've got an idea. I mean, I've only just met Amy. I mean, we've never. This is the first time that I've properly seen Amy's face actually moving.
Yeah.
It's almost like real life. It's almost like you're kind of 5 meters away, and if I reached across and ran across, I could, I don't know, poke you.
Of course, you do realise, Bez, this realises that you now know 2 people who are north of the M4 and live in the barren wastes that you consider don't exist. This was about a month and a half ago, and I'm not letting her live it down yet. Was when we were talking about getting together for a party or like after lockdown or something. And Bez totally went, "Oh, Nottingham's like way too far away," and I'm like, "Oh, cool, yeah, fine." Like, love you too, but you know, I can't be asked to come all the way to Nottingham. Or I'm like, right, fine then, you know.
Well, it was more like if it's immediately
Anything north of Watford,
lockdown, then
it's
going
just
on
dreary,
public
isn't it?
transport. Going on public transport, that's not something I want to do.
No.
That's fair, you know. But you know, we have cars and everything up here, you know, and places to park them and all these sorts of options,
Well,
you know.
Okay, you guys
I
ready?
don't drive. I don't. Does everyone else have a number?
I have a number.
Okay.
So, how much money would Amy want to let a toddler cut their hair? Everyone ready? 3, 2, 1, reveal. £100,000, 100, 2,000 from
14,995.
I like that. It's very specific. Okay.
And what is the
I'm
correct
lowballing the
answer?
15 grand point for no
It
good reason
Dave
whatsoever.
says £10. No, Dave. No.
I think it's safe to say Dave
Naughty
hasn't read the
Dave.
room.
I went for 40 grand.
Am I
40
in again?
grand.
Reasonable.
40 grand! Holy crap!
What did you have, Rose?
I put 2,500. Like, I know you're attached to your hair, but you can get some good wigs for that.
No, I would not do it for £2,000.
Yeah, this is growth time considered. So that's like that's like minimum wage for 2 years, right? So that's like 2 years worth of work. So that's like 2 years worth of growth that I can accomplish, and I get to at least here. And then I could use my own hair again. So this is to cover the time that I would have to wear wigs and be embarrassed of my own hair.
That's fair. To be fair, I wouldn't let a toddler cut my hair for 2,500, so that's reasonable.
To be fair, if it had
But
been
if
mine,
it's
I mean, they
like
could have
a
done it for
toddler
about
that's
50 quid
cute and
because
lovely.
it couldn't be worse than the current lockdown mess that I've inherited.
I think
But,
they have best luck with that, apart from maybe some stab wounds.
Dave's estimate will buy you a nice plastic
Well,
wig.
Dave
from the
was
costume
deliberately
store to
low
cover
just
it up.
because it's the closest without
yeah.
going over. Because
What was
that's what we call tactical play.
Yeah.
Dave really knows a responsible toddler or a toddler hairdresser protege.
Yeah, we'll let you know. I mean, you know, but I seems unlikely. I think
A
there's many
toddler hairdresser protege with £40,000.
with no, with their parents have 40 grand. Yeah, then Yeah.
Really rich parents.
Really rich.
When it was like Vidal Sassoon or something, but as a baby, you might think differently, mightn't you?
So now it's Rose's turn.
What was Dave's actual answer? I don't actually know who. Did I win that one again, or was Dave's answer closer?
It was £10 Dave's was.
Oh, Dave's was the daft one.
Andrew's.
Okay.
You got your second point, Andrew.
Apparently, I'm at about 30% the actual answer for everybody, but yeah, it's also closest.
So, okay. Rose, how much money? Whoops, I need to just add.
I'd be worried given the first two questions.
To be trapped in an elevator overnight.
Oh.
With who?
With who? Good question.
Well, Rose decides all the exact parameters.
I mean, there's some people I would happily be trapped in an elevator overnight with, and I would pay good money to do so.
Oh, thanks. You're so kind, Andrew. You know, I never thought of that way, but now I am.
Yeah. That's a good point, though. You know, it depends who it is, because some people I'd have to be paid a great deal of money to be trapped in an elevator with, and other people I would positively pay money for that experience. So, yeah, I think you have to specify then, Rose. Are you trapped with anybody?
I know. I'm trying to decide. Do I want to make it a cozier experience so that like it's hard for you to like? Do I want to make it the nicest experience possible, or the worst experience?
Well,
possible?
If you make it the nicest experience possible, then you do it for £0, presumably.
Well, no. Who would do? No, I still wouldn't want to be trapped in an elevator overnight. Like.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know.
If you were trapped in an elevator with Klaus Teuber, I would be happy to be trapped in an elevator with Klaus Teuber. We'd get together and I could ask them about the design of doddles and whether they were inspired by Good Question. I would, commend them on
if you've got enough battery
times.
on your phone and some pocket games in your bag, yeah, you could make a night of it. My thinking was
the scariest issue is going to the toilet.
This is exactly what I was about.
Oh my
god!
Say.
Okay.
I don't want to pee myself in front of anyone that I like in this elevator. So I'm not going to be trapped with like a celebrity, because what if I pee myself? It's going to be terrible.
Themselves too, and that's even scarier because then you just have to watch a celebrity pee themselves.
That would be horrifying.
No, it's very simple. You have four corners of your elevator. You nominate one corner to sleep, one corner to defecate in, and the other two are your recreational corners.
No, you don't.
It's quite simple.
Correct answer is you don't use the corner at all. You go near the door because it'll drain out.
So I'm going to say that I am trapped in this elevator overnight on my own.
Okay, that seems to simplify it. My thinking was that
the elevator
if you had a really close crush that you wanted to spend time with but hadn't been able to find the situation, being trapped in a lift with them could be a really weird first date. But
it could be like it's a very like romantic comedy situation, but only for like 2 hours. and then I think the sort of like basic human needs of like I need to leave and I'm really thirsty and now I've got a headache, like all of this would start to kick in after 8 hours in the elevator. So
I mean, you're gonna get to see what your potential partner's like in adversity. There's pros and cons, but
that's true.
That's downside, true. The emergency phone call from your friend half an hour in where they go, so how's it going? Oh, it's going fine, but I can't leave this lift, So cheers for the call.
How is it different, though? How is it different to being trapped in an elevator to being in quarantine and locked down in your own room and too lazy to get out of bed every day?
Well, there's a toilet in your house, apparently, is one of the key determining factors.
That's one of the key designers,
you spend 10 hours of sleep, couldn't you? And you wouldn't make any difference, would it?
Yeah. In my experience, elevators are not comfy to sleep in.
They usually don't have toilets. Yeah, I'm quite good at sleeping in like. I've literally gone to sleep in like a moving jeep before on like a rough road. I can sleep in a lot of places.
I have slept in an open-sided helicopter.
For me, like that bumpiness, it's actually quite fun.
It was really uncomfortable, and yet I still managed to fall asleep. But yeah, cars normally are really like peaceful. I think an elevator would be harder, but I've slept on the floor in fetal positions. I'm not that many years out of university. That's fine.
Rewind. How many people exactly, and
time.
who exactly is in this elevator with you?
Nobody. We've established it's nobody. We're just having a philosophical discussion as to the benefits. It's Rose in an elevator for a night by herself.
Yeah.
Can you get takeaways and things delivered through the door by firemen?
No, you don't understand what being stuck in an elevator means.
You'd still be stuck. You'd have a little wedge to feed you through like one chip at a time or something.
Someone can pass me one chip at a time. No, I think the door is firmly shut and there's no hatch onto the top of the elevator.
We're eliminating the possibility that you can self-escape the elevator. Because that would be my first port of call. Would be I know how to escape an elevator.
There's a little hatch in there which you can just crawl through at the top and then come out that way.
There is, but also I 100% would not do that. So
yeah, also doesn't work if it's stuck on the top floor.
Yeah.
Because unless there's an escape hatch from the shaft itself, you're still stuck.
And is there any annoying music playing for the whole night whilst you're in the elevator?
That would raise the price. I don't think
for 8 hours.
I don't think most elevators now have music, so I'm going to say no music. That would drive it up significantly. But no, this is just me in a silent elevator that has like an emergency light on, like it's not completely dark.
Would you have been lucky enough to have preemptively gone to the loo before you went in the elevator?
I'm only going home because it's night time and I'm leaving, and then I just.
Yeah.
Do
you normally carry snacks?
To go to the toilet, because that would be the worst. Could you imagine if you got in to go to the floor where there was a toilet?
I feel like that is also an extreme scenario. We're going to go with a mid-level of toilet needed.
a mid-level of typical leave the building at 7.
Just use your handbag.
So hopefully you don't have to poo overnight, but you will have to pee.
To be fair, I've seen the elevator at inside a box, and there is every good chance that if you left that building late, you would be stuck in that elevator overnight, because I do not trust that elevator. I will take your stairs every time.
You should just go inside the handbag.
I have my number.
You have your number. Okay, I should probably write a number down. And yes, I probably have like a snack or two, but nothing very substantive.
And we're assuming here you're not like wildly claustrophobic, given that you haven't, immediately flinched and
told us.
No, I mean I could survive being trapped in the elevator. I wouldn't like it. I'd be annoyed, but I would survive.
This is going to be a mildly tedious, humiliating, and an annoying experience, but nothing worse than that.
Yeah, for sure.
Okie dokie.
Ooh, I'm going to change my number. I'm going to change it to this number.
I have a number. It contains other numbers.
Yes, my number is more than 1 digit.
Correct. My number is also more than 1 digit.
Whoa.
How much would the insurance pay up for something like that?
Are we in America or the UK? In the UK, they'll send you a gift card for 20 quid and say, sorry. In America, you sue them for 2 million and moral indignation and distress. So,
Probably in the UK then.
And Dave asked a side question. How much would you have to play Klaus Teuber to stay in an elevator with Bez?
I mean, we don't know Klaus's opinion of Bez, so it's, this is a bit of a
Yeah, I don't think Klaus even knows who the hell I am. So
I think if you give Klaus a copy of Innerbine Jr., they'll do anything, I think. Yeah.
I agree.
You guys are too kind. So,
okay, are you all ready? Are we all ready?
We are ready.
Okay.
3.
Mostly.
2. 1. Sorry, I keep doing that wrong.
1,000.
I put 1,200.
I've lost this one. Bez gets this one.
I won!
Got it! By £1 over Dave's estimate.
Boom! Dave, you shouldn't have gone for 999. Should have gone for 1,000. That's my first point. I'm so excited.
That's quite a lot of money, but you have to think about the fact that it'll probably ruin the next day as well because you slept really badly.
Honestly, my first thoughts was 4,000, and then I was thinking because you put 2,000 for Amy's answer, you're probably not going to be
relative value of money.
You're probably relatively humble with your monetary demands.
Like I would like £1,000, so that would be cool. That's a kind of boundary in which I'm like, okay, it might be worth going out of my comfort zone to get stuck in this elevator, and I would try and just sleep all the way through it. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically what you're going to do, isn't it? Conclude this is boring, catch up on your email, and then go to sleep, so...
Yeah, I mean, I would be concerned that I would get very bored, but if it's overnight, then hopefully I'm tired enough that I'll drop off eventually.
I mean, if there was like some kind of killer pandemic outside, and you were safely tucked away in this elevator, you'd be quite grateful, wouldn't you?
I think my overall mental health this pandemic has proved that is not the case at all. Theoretically, am I grateful to be safe and healthy during a pandemic? Yes. In practice, do I feel it? No.
Okay. Next question to James. How much money to wear only yellow clothes for a year?
Oh, okay. We know
for a whole year.
Yes. You're only allowed to wear yellow clothes.
Surely that's Amy's question, surely.
Well,
no, because we've established that Amy will wear yellow clothes for a day for free.
Yeah.
So multiplying by 365, it's probably still free. Although I suppose you could argue that the monotony might start to incur a time charge basis. But
can it be yellow, just plain yellow, or yellow with things in it?
Well, it's YouTube.
I think it's got you
primarily yellow
specifics.
Yeah,
because the last two yellow things that I've ever worn was a very bright, luminous pink flamingo pattern thing with a yellow background, and before that, years ago, I had an away shirt of a football team that was yellow, and then in between those times, I wore like a yellow fluorescent jacket when I was going raving. So I don't normally wear yellow unless I really have to.
If you had to wear the said soccer team's shirt, would this be a team that you would be proud to be seen to support, or is this the sort of team that you would be embarrassed to be seen in their shirt on principle?
I'm just not really a big football fan anymore, so I wouldn't be bothered about it. And
was it Liverpool?
No, it was Spurs. So no, I mean, for me, yellow is one of my least favourite colours. It's the colour of, I think it's the Queen's favourite colour, isn't it? Yellow, and Van Gogh's.
I'm hazarding it might be Amy's, although it's a toss-up between yellow and blue at this point. So
It's true.
I think
I feel yellow.
Can I change it to pink or something else?
No, I believe the question specifies yellow.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we could make those being stuck somewhere.
Could it be any colour clothes, but with the word yellow written on them, or the brand name yellow?
No, I think they're fundamentally yellow. I think the question is,
you might need quite a lot of money to wear yellow.
I mean, I think you could have a slogan across the front of me. I really hate this yellow.
Is it like yellow everything?
Yellow, why bother?
I mean, I think that it's allowed to have a little bits of other colours. Like, you'd still call this a red top.
That is a red top.
Though it has black on it.
I might even go so far to say James is wearing a white top. It's a white top.
Have I got to wear like yellow socks and pants and things as well?
Well, technically, you don't have to wear socks and pants, but if you wear them, they have to be yellow.
How sexy would you feel in yellow pants?
Yeah,
I think that all these clothes would probably be supplied. Like, I think you'd probably get,
a lifetime.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy enough to buy white and dye it yellow. I mean, you can get yellow
just
dye.
Like a week's supply of clothes so that you can, wash through it.
I guess I could get a job as a banana mascot, I suppose, but I don't.
So you're reckoning to monetize this then? You reckon if you're going to wear yellow for a year, you may as well,
Yeah, I might as well get something out of it. But wearing
they're getting money. That's the important point.
Costume, I don't know.
Like, if it would cost you £1 million, you get that in pounds. The question is, how much money would it cost you to wear only yellow clothes for a year?
Assuming they're provided.
I definitely hate the idea, and I would definitely like to.
So tell us, do you think it would impact your job?
Not necessarily. Well, yellow trousers, is not normal, is it, to wear at work for me? Yellow shoes. Don't know where you buy yellow shoes. Do you paint them?
Shoes are different. I would argue shoes aren't clothes. Myself, as a point of order,
you can get some yellow docks or something.
Oh, you totally can, but to me, shoes are not clothes. Clothes are the
yellow
things you
gold
encumber yourself with, and
I don't know.
Gold or yellow or lime or what is it?
I think you could totally pick any shade of yellow. Like, you can go with chartreuse if you want. Like, you know, you can be a sickly yellow-green should you really desire. But I think, like, sunshine yellow might be the best choice here.
Yeah.
Like a Mr. Happy colour. Yeah, I'd be like Mr. Happy all day long, wouldn't I? I don't know about this. But I don't know. It really, it's a really hard one for me to actually want to do this. And
well, we're offering you an awful lot of money. You just have to specify the magnitude of the amount of money.
For a whole year. For a whole year, every single day.
I mean, there's enough swatches there. There's one a day, you know. This brought to you by Google.
You can mix it up a little bit, so people won't notice you're wearing purple all the time.
I mean, it could become quite viral on YouTube, couldn't it? The man that wore yellow every day, and everyone puts out a different deluxe colour chart for you.
Yeah.
It could go
get an
viral.
endorsement deal with somebody who makes yellow things.
And then you might get some weird, creepy people who start fetishizing over you and fancy you because you wear the colour yellow.
This is rule 34. If you can imagine the fetish it exists.
Yeah.
Somebody somewhere has a fetish for yellow clothing.
I just want to live a nice, normal, quiet, peaceful life with boring colours, and not being really noticed that very much either. I don't like being noticed and pointed at in the street and go, "Oh, that's the man that wears yellow." No, that would do my head in.
No. But the key thing here is that somebody is offering you a large but unspecified amount of money to do
James,
it. So
how
much is that large amount of money?
Are you able to write down an amount of money that you would do this for?
A very predictable large amount of money.
500 million has been overplayed. We determined this earlier.
Yeah.
I know it has. I've got to find a new number. For a year, so 365 days
a year.
Okay, I've got a number.
Yeah.
I think I know your price.
I have a number. I think it's wrong.
It might be a low number, but I think better to go too low than too high. That's the way this game works. So everyone in the comments, if you have any idea how much it would cost James to wear only yellow clothes for a year, now is the time to type your number.
I think it's safe to say that for the amount of money James is going to name, we could have Amy have her hair cut by a toddler, Bez eat vegetables, and Rosie be stuck in a lake.
Yeah.
And you might even get to throw mine in too. We don't know what mine is. Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready. Ready?
There.
Yeah.
I've got a price. Right.
All right.
Everybody has a price.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
£25,000.
Yeah.
What's the one from Rose? Sorry, I can't read it.
7,500.
God, I'm cheap, aren't I?
And Dave,
I was going to say the girls are cheap, apart from the fact that Bez has gone with 2 mil.
365,000 and 36,500. I think I'm loving the 365. I've got the 365 on my number.
Yeah, million.
Followed by a couple of zeros, and then a couple more zeros, and then a couple
more zeros. You see, I thought I had gone silly high, but Bez gets the point by virtue of ridiculous.
Gets the point. Wowzer, that you hate yellow a lot. I didn't.
£1 million that you would not accept less than £1 million a day to have to wear bright yellow.
I couldn't wear it every single. It just doesn't suit my face. I'm not.
For that much money, you could buy an island and live on it for a year and have nobody see you. You could buy an island and a small surface to air missiles.
You don't have to go out and see everyone. A lot of the year could be in isolation.
All day and tell other people how amazing you look and that you're in and that you're fashionable. You could just have people praising you all the time because you paid them to do so.
To be fair, if you have 365 million as your fortune, people will do that just to suck up to you, even if you don't give them the money.
Yeah, literally.
I mean, when I was a kid, I had a friend who had a mustard colour suit, and I really hated it. And,
let's hope the friend isn't watching the stream right now.
hi, Paul. You all right, mate? No, it's all right.
Oh,
yeah, so far I'm not prepared to part with my money for any of these, to be honest.
No,
I mean, you know, apart from anything else, I could spend much less money to do something much more enjoyable with every single one of you. So,
oh, so yeah, no yellows for me, please.
No,
I mean, in James's case, apparently I can spend 364 million on some sort of, you know, vacation bachelor island thing of, you know, with all of the toys, because as long as it doesn't have yellow on it, I mean.
No, just no yellow.
That is my ideal fantasy. That is, yeah.
So
yeah.
James, I mean, is yellow the absolute worst? Like, how much out of curiosity would it cost you to wear only red? for a year.
I'm not a fan of red either, Bez, to be honest with you. Red doesn't suit me neither.
I mean,
Brave.
but I'm honoured that you're willing to at least put it on for a day.
For me,
Accents.
the colours that work best with me tend to be a light pink, pastel colours, light blues, turquoises, and whites. I don't really like black, but they kind of work. Yeah, I just don't really go with primary colours, really.
Fair
Purple
enough.
works kind of a little bit for me.
So
You make my
on
attitude
to
close sound
Andrew
positively involved.
Dennison.
Oh.
Why is it always spiders? Jesus, like every single time. Last time it was a bathtub of spiders. What have you got against me and arachnids?
Are they chocolate-covered spiders or popcorn spiders?
I don't know, but like last time we played this game, I had to get into a bathtub full of spiders. I'm beginning to think somebody again. What was that about fetishes? Like Bez, honestly, what is it about me and spiders?
It was complete coincidence.
Jolly D, can I
How much
demand a
money
redraw
to
just because we've
bowl
had
of
this
spiders?
one?
No, this is we haven't
Do you
had
have to
this
eat
one.
the bowl?
This is
Or just the
different.
spiders?
You didn't have to eat them last time.
This is true. I didn't have to eat them last time.
It was a choice.
Do you eat the whole bowl as well, Andrew, or just the spiders?
I think we're assuming the literal interpretation of the question as, or the normal interpretation of the question. The literal interpretation would be the bowl. No,
How big is this bowl?
I'm assuming we're talking about a cereal bowl full of spiders,
Yes.
which I'm assuming are dead.
Are you
I
assuming that the spiders have been cooked or fried?
I pictured them like crawling out of the bowl.
No, I think it's
Yeah.
reasonable to assume that if I'm going to eat a bowl of anything, I
That
expect it to be dead.
is very
first.
fair. That might be quite nasty. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm also assuming that the spiders, if they were previously poisonous, are no longer so. Yeah, same principles as Bez is one. I'm assuming that eating these spiders is not going to cause me harm.
Oh,
Yeah.
are they deep fried in barbecue sauce? says Dave.
Yum, yum.
I mean, if they could be, that would definitely improve matters.
I'd eat that.
I think we have to assume that they've been lightly fried in oil, something like that. These are spiders prepared for the purpose of consumption, but not in a way that is so extreme as to, basically be eating a bowl of sugar with some spider involved. So
What species of spider, Andrew?
I don't think it matters. As long as they've been devenomed and whatever, I think,
What
assorted
tarantulas
spiders.
or tiny little money spiders or anything, really?
Yeah,
I don't
because, I mean,
think it makes much difference.
I think a big tarantula, you could feel the legs of that. That would kind of be a lot crunchier, and you'd kind of feel like you're eating this. Whereas eating those little tiny red spiders, that would be more like eating mush almost.
Mm. A bowl of reasonably assorted, sensible-sized spiders, less than your tarantula, not your little tiny red one. Your common or domestic continental spider.
The one where the bodies may be the size of my fingernail.
Yeah. No, not even that. Like, that would be almost a tarantula. Like a spider. Go and find a spider in your house. We're talking about a bowl of them or their close relatives.
Yeah.
Lightly fried in oil in a bowl to eat.
Okay.
Are you at all nervous about the animal cruelty aspect of this task?
Well, I mean, I eat animals generally, so...
But not necessarily a box of live spiders or a bowl of live spiders.
No, it's not live. We've
they're
established
dead.
that.
They're dead. Yes,
So
they've been
fried.
killed. They can have been killed humanely if that makes any difference to you, but I'm assuming that these spiders have been prepared for consumption in a similar manner to which any animal-based, meat-based, insect-based.
And I want to
Dave
know if
Witherell is
Dave.
about to eat these spiders for no money at all.
I want to know, Dave.
Everything tastes of chicken.
Have you eaten the tarantula spiders in Cambodia, or is this second-hand information?
Is this
Second-hand
hearsay?
information. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, is this first-hand information or second-hand? That's what I want to know. So, getting back to you, Andrew.
I am an
think-
omnivore, so yeah.
Do you think you would have something immediately afterwards to wash
I think
it
that's left
properly?
open. I don't think that's specified. It's it would depend
you
if I
think you
enjoyed
would- Mm.
the experience. I don't know if I would enjoy spiders. I have never eaten spiders before. I can't discount the fact that they might be quite pleasant.
Would you
They might be quite
curious?
unpleasant.
Do you think you would be curious?
I'd be curious.
curious?
Whether I'd want to eat a whole bowl is another matter.
I mean, it's possible that you
Dave
might eat
Wetherall
them
has
and-
eaten them in Cambodia, presumably paid money. to have to tarantula spiders.
it's
These
possible
spiders
that
are
if
going
he
to
was
be less
blindfolded-
fatal for me than the grapes would be for Amy. So we're in the realm of food.
I
Um,
mean, it's possible that if you was blindfolded and you didn't know what you was eating, and you go, that's nice cooking tonight that my wife's made me, and you wouldn't know any different, would you?
Not necessarily. I'm assuming I'm consciously eating a bowl of spiders.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Again, it's
It's
basically
like you need to be psyched out about this.
Oh, that sounds nice, actually, what Dave's just described.
they were in barbecue sauce.
A bag of spiders for breakfast. Oh, hey Ross. It's lovely to see you.
Hi, Ross.
Ross has eaten many insects, but not spiders. Andrew, I want to know what would you say is the most unusual thing that you've eaten?
Unusual. Nothing that strange. Wild rabbit. That was interesting.
Oh, that is tame. Sorry.
Oh.
Well, as in we caught it and skinned it and cooked it and ate it. That was an
Okay,
experience.
that's a bit less tame, but like not even a snail, no insects, nothing.
Not consciously. I mean, I've doubtless inhaled the odd fly, but I didn't do it as a culinary experience.
Yeah.
Everyone's done that.
Oh,
yeah.
kangaroo. Kangaroo. I had a kangaroo steak once. That might be
Okay.
fairly unusual. Although if you're in Australia, that might be fairly normal.
No
So-
idea.
Ostrich is very nice. I
Can't,
didn't
can't
know
recommend it.
that.
It's very
Yes.
gamey. It's very wangy.
Don't bother with silkworms.
I really don't recommend cockroaches. What I imagine you would say.
Apparently, you can keep cockroaches as pets, and just why? Why would you do that?
I mean, technically, you can keep any animals as a pet, but there are certain animals that are pets and
But
certain
no,
animals
like
that are just
people.
bugs.
Okay, people commonly deliberately keep them as pets, and that's
Okay, I've got a number.
I mean, they're apocalypse proof, so there's always that.
that is
you know.
true. They're quite good for small children because they're hard to kill. But like,
And if you kill one, you just replace it with a new cockroach. Who's
yeah,
going
they're
to?
never gonna know, are they?
No,
Yeah.
no.
Okay, I've got the number.
Yeah, me too.
And I
Dave
should
does
probably
say-
come up with a number. That being the premise of the game.
I'm actually probably quite similar to Dave in adventurousness. I have tasted a whole bunch of insects when I was in Thailand, and yeah, it's good times.
I've never eaten insects, but I have tried dog meat.
Yeah, me
It
too.
tasted pretty
Wow.
nice.
Yeah.
I
What, is
don't
it
like.
pedigree
Yeah.
charm?
There's
or-
a real clue. To be honest, most general mammal type things that run around on four legs, they're all
Right.
quite tasty when cooked properly.
They
you know.
are quite tasty. Like, yeah. People get
No
really.
offense to people who don't like that, who are vegetarian or whatever, but
I
no,
mean,
think
I am
there's a
tastes nice.
saying
vegetarian.
in
Now.
there's a saying in China. Someone told me that if its back faces the sun, you can eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Or if you-
How
or
many
even
animals
anything
are
on
there back?
four
So,
legs,
Like
how
something
much
on the
money
table.
would it cost Andrew Dennison to eat a bowl of spiders? If you are in the comments, then type it now. We're running out of time, and we're going to all reveal our guesses very soon.
Sausage dogs. I don't know if it was a sausage dog.
So remember, the closest without going over will win a point. So has everyone got their answers? How much money would it take Andrew Dennison to eat a bowl of spiders? Count us in, Andrew.
Oh, just go for it. Yeah. So,
Okay.
go.
Ah!
Ooh, interesting.
What have you got
What's your
there?
number, Rose?
Roses has gone sideways.
1,800.
Oh, Rose is the closest. Rose is actually the closest, but unfortunately, she doesn't get a point because it's James and Bez who are going to get a point each. 1,500 quid.
I thought I was gonna get a
Wow.
point there.
You're the money.
Like,
I thought
I'd,
you were doing
I'd
red-
totally try a few spiders for 150 quid, Amy, but a whole bowl of them is a bit of a, I'm allowing for the
Yeah.
fact that a few spiders in, I might go, this really isn't me, and I've now got to eat the rest of the bowl,
Yeah,
Um,
if you don't like something, like a few bites of it, like whatever.
It's fine,
you
but
eat
plowing through a
food.
bowl, I'm allowing for the possibility I've got to eat a whole bowl of something I find unpleasant.
Yeah.
And my
By
rate
that
for that
point-
is like four
Yeah,
figures.
you're really fighting with like the urge to puke at that stage. So.
Yeah, it's going to get unpleasant, yeah. So to try some spiders,
I mean, I
totally,
have
yeah,
to watch-
150 quid, no problem. But to go for a whole bowl,
And
Yeah.
I think that I know that Andrew's cheap, but maybe not quite that cheap.
I'm not that cheap, you know.
I mean, I
It
have
depends what you want me
watched
to
these
do. I'm one of the people who's hard to guess in this game because there are some things I will totally do for much less than you'd think, and there are some things I just won't do, or will do for much.
I mean,
you know.
there are these competitive eaters who would literally eat a bowl within 2 seconds, and they would be super fast, and they would make no issue about that sort of thing. So
Yeah, I
get
wouldn't
that
even
technique.
notice it. But yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And then a vegetarian might object to it on moral grounds and say they'd never do it because it's against their principles.
that
and
brings
they'd be
us to
perfectly
the
valid to do so.
end of how much money. And in the final analysis, we've got Amy and Rose and Dave and Ross who played. Thank you very much. We've got James with 1 point. We've got
Laughing at me.
Andrew with 2 points.
2
And
points.
I somehow managed to win with 3 points.
Hooray!
Oh man. And that is how much money. That is by Chris Backe, which I will type their name up. You can find them online and download the game yourself if you like the sound of it. It's available as a PNP, and they also have a wild deck which has lots of Nazi things in it.
We normally do 2 rounds, don't we? We did more questions there. Normally we get through 2 rounds of how I Met Your Money. Okay, I'm now costing over
How much
sitcoms.
money?
How I Met Your Money, eating a bowl of spiders, and then you gave it to me.
I think, Bez, next time, what you do, right, is you get the audience to donate the money that we've asked for, and we actually do those tasks.
Yeah, because James, we're going to find a quick rip round for 365 mil, mate. Yeah, just I think at this point, the only what was the cheapest one? What could the audience reasonably afford?
It was your one. It was
mine was
£1,000.
1,000. What was mine?
Yeah, it was like a £1,000 one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mine was 1,000.
Only eating raw vegetables for a month. I would do that.
Yeah.
I'd have to think about the cost of the supplements now. Think about it, but yeah, £1,000, £2,000. I would do that.
We could easily raise £1,000 for that. Easy.
Yeah. It's either that or locking Rose in a lift for a night.
No problem. Yeah.
Yeah, have it.
That'd be a good laugh.
But the thing is,
Give me a
if
ring,
it had to be
anyone who's
televised,
interested.
that would.
Rose has now realised she overbid this and has priced herself out of the market. Yeah, she's willing to do it for 500 at this point. You know, numbers on a postcard.
So we're on to our final competition time. Competition time. This is the song for competition time.
And
Competition
yes,
time. Competition time. This is the song, and it does rhyme. So, competition time. Tell us, what is a marvelous thing? Explain why it's marvelous. Use the word marvelous in your comments, and you will automatically enter. And the prize for winning is either going to be a little sketch, which I'll draw like in 10 minutes or so, of whatever you ask me to draw. Or it could be a game of In a Bind Junior, which I don't know, I keep putting it all the way out of reach. In a Bind Junior is the one where you draw a card, you do what it says, and then you always end up doing more and more things. And you've got, a bunch of animal noises as well. And those are some things that you can win, one or the other. And let us know what is a marvelous thing if you want to enter the competition. And
excluded are spiders, yellow clothes, being stuck in a lift, toddlers, and whatever Bez's one was. Yeah, those aren't marvelous. They're expensive. Just saying. You know,
vegetables, wasn't it? The vegetable
vegetables.
one.
Yeah, vegetables aren't marvelous. They can in fact be lethal. We have learnt this tonight.
More fake facts.
Alan Alton says the sketch is marvelous, and why have I still got it? Yes, because
But yes, you should have sent that one to Tom about 2 weeks ago.
To Alan. I should have sent it to Alan.
Oh yeah,
that's Alan who should have been sent this sketch. And he's saying, "Hey, why have you not sent me the sketch yet? Why have you not?"
Did you send them the ridiculously sized postcard?
So no, I haven't, Alan. I will send it on Tuesday. I will send this on Tuesday. I know I'm kind of behind. I'll announce in Tut Tut.
We still need to know.
Deserved. I deserve to be tutted at. I will hold my hands
I would like to know what the purpose of that sketch will be once you receive it, because it's got my image on it, and I want to know. I'm just curious to know how you'll be using that image.
And Die Hat says cheese is marvelous, and presumably because it tastes good. Yeah, that makes sense.
Cheese is fairly marvelous.
It is. It's pretty marvelous.
Yeah.
Now,
any dissenters in the room? Anyone vote against cheese?
I'm
quite a fan of the old port.
Most people pro cheese. The lactose intolerant may go against, but
I don't know.
The mood of the room is pro cheese.
You know, true story. Julie Ahern, lactose intolerant, met them at Tesson. I believe it was 2018. Might have been 2017. I genuinely can't remember. And we met at a party. I don't know if you know Morning. They're sort of a distributor. I think they've got a unicorn game, and they used to work for Stonemaier Games. Anyway, so Morning had this crazy party, and I left around 11 something. I thought the underground would still be going, but it wasn't. I was severely disappointed. I ended up having to basically pay for a taxi because I was like, yeah, I could wait 2 hours for a bus, but I'm at Tesson, my sleep matters, I'm going to splash out, get a taxi. But apparently there were people partying at this party until like 2 or 3 or something crazy in the morning. Anyway, so at this party, they had like really nice food and drink. They had wine, they had cheese, they had sausages. And Julie told me that they could not have cheese. So what they asked me to do was to describe the cheese to them. So I gave them a full gastronomic tour with my words.
Of the cheese. Fantastic. Sleep is important, though. 621 at gaming events is a thing. Please, God, 621. It's not hard.
And 621 is that 6 hours sleep.
6 hours sleep, 2 proper meals, and 1 shower.
Yeah.
It's a thing. I will allow an exception for one-day events. You can, because I'm lousy with the food. Like, if it's a one-day event, I will totally only get one decent meal and snack. But if it's a weekend convention, 621 is the rule of life. You will live if you do 621. And you might even continue to attract other human beings who wish to socialize with you. Just saying.
In answer to James's earlier question, James says that they will draw on the other side of the paper. Maybe use it for a game of free mail. Or maybe they will frame it and hang it next to their bed.
I like that one.
And Die Hat does say, yeah, see, cheese is the thing that brings people together.
So,
cheese on heat blasted dough circles, especially.
Yeah.
So, before we kind of go out and choose who's been the winner, let's have to recap. We have what did we play? We played Giftable, which James won, and it was lovely to see so much support for Rose in the early from the lovely Casey, who also works at ITB. We've talked about the Dice Cup, which is opening soon.
Yay!
Hopefully. And
I've missed this, so I'm going to have to... Well, I've got you on Facebook, so I'm just going to have to look it up there, aren't I?
We've learned that James really, really, really hates wearing yellow.
Hello.
We've learned that Amy's love for their hair is more than Rose thought at all. I mean, 12 years growth, that's quite a lot. And before we go out, what is a thing that you are looking for, Wordsu? Myself, I am looking forward to speaking with some people tomorrow from New Zealand. So there's a convention called WellyCon, and every morning at 10 a.m. I do the Busy Breakfast Board Game Bladder, and tomorrow I'm going to be talking to CD and I want to say Adrienne, who are both based in New Zealand, where they've managed to get to 0 cases. Like, they've got literally 2 new cases in the past 3 weeks. So well done. And they had this online convention. I was part of it. Dave Luza from Luzapalooza was part of it, and it was so much fun kind of engaging with all these people and running some games and being able to meet them. So we're going to be talking about gaming in New Zealand and everything. Amy, what are you looking forward to?
I'm really looking forward to going back into the Dice Cup next week to tidy up, ready to be open again. I can't wait. We've made a special playlist where each of the staff members have added 20 songs to a Spotify playlist, so that we're going to close the cafe to the public, obviously, but we're all going to be boogieing down, cleaning everything, getting everything ready. We're going to spruce some things up. We've got some we've got some nice paints, and we've got some chalk, and we're going to just spruce everything up, ready to be reopened.
Nice. That does sound. I like how you're injecting the work with a little bit of fun and boogieing.
Yeah,
you can always dance to make a task better.
Exactly. And what we're going to do is play a little game where each time a song comes on, we're going to guess who put it on the playlist.
I was about to say, there's a risk here, depending particularly on how many staff you've got, that you could have to listen to some music you really don't like.
There are 10 of us. And Matt's favourite song is Everything is Awesome from the Lego movie. So I think...
Oh, I love that.
So he usually plays it on full blast on the 10-hour loop. So this is an improvement of one song.
Okay, so you've negotiated there, you feel. You've yeah.
Yeah, unless you put that on 10 times. In which
It can only be beaten by Baby Shark, obviously. That's some...
Well, hopefully no one does that. Otherwise, they'll go sit in the corner and be sad.
Yeah.
We'll shun them.
Yeah. If your music taste is sufficiently bad, you're getting furlonged again. Sorry, guys, but it's true.
Well.
You know.
Yay! Thanks, Ross.
And Rose, what are you looking forward to in the next couple of days?
In the next couple of days? Oh, blimey! I
Or
guess.
in the next whatever period of time you feel like you need.
Well, in the next couple of weeks, I mean, I just haven't planned much the next couple of days. That makes my life sound very sad. I'm sure I'm doing really fun things the next couple of days. I just haven't thought about them yet.
You're spontaneous. That's the word you're looking for. You're planning to be spontaneous. Yeah.
Indeed. But in the next couple of weeks, me and my flatmates are moving to a new flat, which is very nice. And I'm very excited. And it'll be a nice change of scene as well. You know, this flat has got slightly, it's very nice, very suitable for purpose, but I'm excited to move on to pastures new, especially in the middle of lockdown. So, yes.
You wish to be bored inside a different shaped box. You've been sufficiently bored. Yeah.
This one has a nice balcony
amazing.
as well, so I'm ready to spend summer on the balcony instead of indoors.
Awesome. Is the balcony at least 2 meters long?
We're not playing How Much Money anymore. You know,
I don't think I can be inviting people over to socially distance on the balcony, unfortunately. That would be great. It's not quite that big. It's got some nice furniture on, so maybe I can work out there, but I think it's going to have to stay with tinnies in the park for actual social engagements.
Fair enough. James, do you have anything that you're looking forward to?
No.
Aww.
I've always wanted to say that on your show.
Timing is everything. No.
Oh, I know. I'm sure there must be some things. I might go out for a little walk, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Honestly, I'm used to these questions. Pass. Ask Andrew something nice.
Andrew, why is being so lovely?
What am I planning to get up to? More the same, actually. To be honest, like I've got those 3 things I mentioned. I'm kind of just looking forward to doing a bit more of that. There's a weekend. I always like my weekends. Again, I'm blessed that my work has continued, but this means that people get to harass me via phone and email 5 days of the week, and I do enjoy the 2 days where the only people harassing me by phone and email are probably people I want to hear from, socially and for reasons, rather than people phoning me up to tell me that I need to do something yesterday. It's nice just to have that space. But yeah, sit in the garden, watch the birds, play some games, some other things, stuff. Pizza. We're having pizza this weekend. Like Loz has ordered in pizza ingredients. He's going to make big slabs of pizza dough, and we're going to put stuff on them and sit and watch series and stuff. Big plans, but it'll be nice.
And Alan Outson has a lovely message saying, Busy Breakfast Board Game Bledder, it's the 50th episode tomorrow, and Alan will have golden shred marmalade to celebrate the occasion. And Alan has been a consistent viewer, and it's always lovely to have you there, Alan. And basically, I've been doing this daily stream for, it's going to be my 50th day tomorrow. So there you go.
So 7 weeks. If you do the weekends. Have you been doing the weekends?
Yes. It's
7 weeks.
literally daily. So, on these cards, one of them has an O for Alan Houghton. One of them has a W for Dave Wedderall. One of them has a H for Die Hat. And one of them has a K for Casey. So there are 4 people who are entered in this competition.
I think we have to have Amy pick. Amy hasn't picked anyone before because she's new.
So this is number 1, this is number 2, this is number 3, and this is number 4. So number 1, 2, 3, or 4.
No pressure.
I think number 1.
Number 1.
Number 1.
Number
Oh,
1.
We
It's Alan Houghton.
Yes,
yeah.
this.
So basically, just to
You want to
show,
recount?
there it was H for Die Hat, W for Dave Wedderall, and K for Casey. So Alan Houghton wins again.
Isn't it good that you didn't post that picture before? Because you've got more to add to the parcel now.
Yeah.
Well,
Although
I mean,
one of the other things Bez has to send Alan is specifically an item that will be sent separately. So
Oh.
and
It's
Dave,
your birthday every day. Well, that's lucky, isn't it?
it's Alan's birthday every time he watches this stream.
so
the
basically,
man's luck is
Alan,
uncanny.
let me know. Presumably, you want another sketch. Let me know what you would like, and yes, I will draw it, and then I will show it next week, and then I will. Yeah, it feels like I want to be able to show it and then send it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So that's the only
seems
drawback. It kind of feels like I want to have the time to show it to people and then send it. So like I've shown this a lot of times, so I'm going to send this on Tuesday because I never go to the post office on Monday. That's just crazy. Never go to the post office on Monday. It's always
That's pension
mobbed.
day, Bez.
Yeah. You know tomorrow's
Yeah.
Friday, right? Just saying.
Yeah,
You know,
Friday
there's a Friday
is
available as well.
playtesting. Friday is
Okay.
playtesting day.
Friday
I
is
don't-
verboten.
I go
Monday is
to-
clearly
I
insanity.
go to the post
so.
office once a week. That's my rule. I went to the post office today. I'm very sorry, Alan. I'm very sorry, Matt. I forgot Matt's presence as well. But I sent about, what was it, maybe 30, 40 envelopes full of cat
You know what
stickers.
that means, don't you? You know what that means? I've got something to look forward to.
Oh, that means I forgot to fill out
Aw.
the survey again. That's what that means.
I might get some stickers in the post from Kitty Cataclysm stickers.
Yeah.
And Dave Wedderall says, Alan
Hello.
deserves to win
You
for
have to
being
wave
your
at people.
most loyal
Loz is gonna come and
breakfast
wave.
lettering fan.
Hello.
Oh, hello, Loz!
Oh, hello.
Now you've
Who's
retreated
that?
out of just well done. Just
Yeah.
what are you
And
even doing in
Alan
my cupboard?
Houghton asks for a sketch of golden shred marmalade, maybe with a cat eating some. Huh.
Can we ask Ross the Spider Bowl question, please?
Sorry, what
Pardon?
about the spider bowl?
Can we ask her the Spider Bowl question?
Oh, Loz? Oh, I don't know. No, that's a whole nother game. You know, she might have a different bid. You know. Oh, how much money? I keep trying to get her to come and play. Look, you have to persuade her to come and play. You want to come and play games because you never come and play games.
Okay.
Yeah.
A sketch of golden shred marmalade.
No, that's something else. It's
Oh, okay.
it was how much money earlier. I'll try and persuade Loz to play again sometime. You know.
Yay!
I'm
Yeah, we
promising.
can have-
I'm promising nothing, but you know, there we go.
Well, no one needs to do anything they're uncomfortable with, of course, because it. Just to say one last time, it has been lovely having everyone along. Thank you, Casey, Dave Wedderall, as opposed to all the other Daves, because you know there are lots of other Daves.
The
Thank you,
interchangeable Daves.
Hannah. Yeah, thank you, Ross. It was lovely to see you here. Thank you, Alan Houghton. Thank you for always coming along. And thank you, Die Hat. Oh, Die Hat's apparently in Wales. Do you know the Rules of Play place? Rules of Play used to be a really good customer. They used to literally buy more in a bind than Estevium. True story.
Wow.
Dave Wedderall, it was lovely having you. And yeah, we are going to be, as I say, in terms of the next streams, let me quickly find my stream thing. So tomorrow I'm interviewing CD of Wellicon. Sunday I'm interviewing Casey and Tobena, who are streaming straight from Nigeria, which is going to be quite exciting. And then Sunday I'm talking about Labyrinth, the card game, and Monday and Tuesday I don't know what I'm doing. But Tuesday evening I will be back at 8:10 p.m. and we will be playing some games that we're going to try out. We are
some games we haven't yet decided.
No, actually, I think I know what it's going to be.
Oh, teasers do. Go on.
So, Q4U, I think I'm going to announce right now that basically I've been speaking to Isaac about potentially working together on changing Q4U. If you remember that game where you're trying to make a phrase and get a point for every letter, but you don't want to be the longest. And it's all about following prompts like, hey, what's a pizza topping that just might work? Or where's the place you would like to be on holiday? And you don't want to give just one word. You want to give multiple words. You want to use particular letters for bonus points in your answer. And you don't want to be the longest. Otherwise, you basically go bust. And that is a game that we're going to be working together. I'm going to be making some crazy rule changes. We will see how it all works. And so it's being demoted to a Tuesday before maybe being promoted back to a Thursday. And I'm also going to try a new L game, which is probably going to be called Reverse a Ball, but I don't know. We'll try a short version, 16 cards. You make 4 words where you need to write the last letter of the word first and then go backwards. And you need to get exactly it's exactly 4 4-letter words. And you can use
it's going to be tough if the vowels fall badly.
You can use as many wild cards as you want, but it's how few wild cards can you get away with. So the winner is the person who uses the fewest wild cards. And those are those games. And we
I like
are here.
Easy games.
We'll try it. The Q4U will be the first one, so if you want to join in there. And it's always 8:10 p.m. because if you want to, I know that clapping for carers is no longer.
Can we
a thing.
do in a bind one night?
Like we played Yogi, but it didn't really work brilliantly. It works okay,
but the animal sound effect, like armadillo noises and that.
Well, I mean, the animal sound effects, it's just really good for real life. The issue is that it's about what works over the format, James. Okay. But let's leave the suggestions until after the stream. We can have a chat about that after. But it's been lovely. So if you want to check out Amy, then it is just search up for the Dice Cup.
Yeah.
What's the Twitch handle for your streams of Pokemon and stuff, Amy?
It's Pump Cut Amy, so like pumpkin, but Pump Cut. So double
as in with an A.
Yeah.
Pump
Cut Amy. Yeah.
Amy.
PUMPKA.
Yeah. So here, wait. I'll write it.
I was about my dyslexia is not helping there. That was completely. I've grasped that and then failed to. Pump Amy. Got you. 2 A's. 2 A's. That's what's not.
2 A's. The double A is annoying but necessary. So,
I'm trying to find.
What is Instagram? I'm like, because I kind of downloaded it the other day, and I've got like one person that I'm following. That's my friend who told me to download it.
Yeah, that's it.
No, there's 2 B's in there.
Yeah, I mistyped. So that is if you want to search for Amy on Twitch, or you can search for Dice Cup on Facebook.
Yeah.
And if you want to find Rose, then how would you like to be found?
In an elevator.
Board games. I mean, I also have a personal Twitter that is also related to board games. Let me just check what my Twitter handle is because I'm always forgetting. 1 second.
You don't always take note of your own handle, do you?
For years, I told people that my underscore in my email address was in the wrong place. I hate to think how many people think I ghosted them or just.
Brackley.
Yeah, the underscore Brackley, I was about to say. I forget where the underscore is. I've got, Brackley is one of my favorite names for making online usernames. The problem is I use it in so many combinations, so I never remember which is which. So yes, that's me on Twitter. You can follow me for board gaming things and probably retweeting other people in the board game industry. That's all I do. Office hamster photos when I'm back in the office.
Yes.
The official Inside the Box mascot.
Yeah, Karen.
Have you
Who's
been looking after the hamster? I mean, I hate to say it, but if nobody took the hamster home, then
No,
it's not going to have gone well for the hamster.
Peter, the boss, has been looking after the hamster. I mean, he
You
does
understand
live at
that?
the after all.
I mean, I think ITB is moving to a different situation where the offices and the house are going to be separated. But until now, Peter has been... It's a live-in office, and it's actually a really nice place where Peter's got a little bedroom, but
It's
all the
really
other
nice.
space...
But
I
yeah,
have been
I'm looking
to the
forward to
box
feeling like
3 times.
5% more professional, you know, with like a separate office.
Did he say 5% more professional?
Yes.
Yeah. There's a big buff getting the office here, a whole 5%. Yeah. What's the
Okay.
hamster worth as a buff? I mean, does the hamster give you 10%, or is that just?
I don't think the hamster makes us more professional.
No.
But more
I
personable.
hate to say it, but yes.
But more
It's
personable.
excellent. It's more personable. I wouldn't trade it for anything. But
100% more personable.
Yeah.
Yes.
The hamster's worth it.
Got as much personality as everyone else combined.
Definitely.
Oh, that's harsh.
Oh, hey.
That's fine, 100%.
I'm either offended on Rose and everybody else's behalf, or I'm really looking forward to meeting this very personable hamster.
Really impressed by this hamster.
Yeah, I'm expecting big things next time I get that far.
James, we have a dog.
James, yes.
You do have a dog. The dog is wonderful.
Do you
I've
wish
met
to
the
give
dog.
a shout out to... I
Yeah,
know you're
sure.
not someone who wishes to be generally
That's fine.
found.
That's fine. I can talk. That's fine. You can find me on Tinder, OkCupid, and Atom's bedroom wall.
Ah.
Love that.
And Andrew,
I exist.
if people are looking for professional planning consultants because they
Highways
want
planning,
to have
yeah,
a new driveway or something,
Yeah, you can find me, Highway Access Solutions. You can find me just as a friend through Bez on Facebook. I exist on the Twitch and the Steam and all of those things. Yeah, just find me through Facebook. Basically, if you want to find me through Bez and Facebook. And yeah, I do things. I do lots of different things. Some of them are fun. Some of them pay my bills.
Yay.
Some of them involve bowls of spiders, don't they?
Yeah,
That
to be
would
fair, I'm
definitely
going
pay
to keep the
bills.
day job. I have to say, at this point, I genuinely consider my professional job a better gig than eating spiders. On a time rate basis, I have to say it would be more profitable to eat spiders.
Alan
but-
Outson is asking for a change in their prize if they can get a sketch of James dressed as Cupid.
hang on,
that's
bedroom
not
wall.
how
This is
they
getting
do that.
sorted.
OkCupid. That's the dating website. No, a sketch of me dressed as Cupid. I don't know what that means.
Well,
you
presumably
get the
it's
little
you
dinky
with
bow and
wings
arrow and the whole,
with
you know.
the little nappy and...
Well,
Yeah.
the good thing is it's not in yellow, so I could get away
I
with
was
that.
about to say you might have been a bit late there because I think yellow already formed in my brain. You know, it's got to be stream specific, so
With little
you know it's going to
rings
be a
and
yellow
things,
nappy. You know, the thought's already in.
If you want to find me, then you probably already know stuffwithbez.com, twitter.com/stuffwithbez, instagram.com/stuffwithbez, twitch.tv/stuffwithbez, facebook.com/thingsbybez, because Facebook does not let you have F and B next to each other because they think that you might be impersonating Facebook. But you can put Stuff by Bez in your page name so you can still search for it. Or you can email me if you so desire, stuffbybez@gmail.com. Let me know what you liked or what you didn't like. All constructive, respectful criticism is very welcome. And that is the end of the show. And all that is left to do is to say bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye, 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 bye.
We've got to get
This
this
is
on
a
tape.
goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, bye,
Come on.
bye, bye, This is the end of the show. Bye bye. Bye bye. And now it's time to
Go. Buenos noches.
Bye bye.